Okay, so we've got a new guy here with us. Is it Canarn?
It's Narn. The K is
Oh,
silent. Love.
Canarn.
Yeah. He doesn't like people who call him Canarn. Just don't forget that.
Okay, sorry, I've never seen that name before.
All right. So we begin. One player offers a prologue, briefly recapping prior events. Who would like to do the prologue?
Well, should we really do this since there's been kind of a break into the adventure?
Well, if somebody could just kind of like help me remember what happened last time, because
Yeah, because really, you really only want to do a prologue if it's a continuation from a previous session when we were in an adventure. We're kind of between adventures now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So honestly, I don't think we should do a prologue.
Well, we
That's
left
just-
off at the city, and Pingsley died, and so now we have just met up with a new guy.
Well, we can do a recap.
Well, I mean, we do have to do a recap. Unless you guys just want to forfeit the reward. I mean, that's fine by me, too.
Oh, yeah, reward.
Yeah.
Lord.
Mom, you sounded like you were about to do it. What happened last time? Let us all know. Tell us.
Oh,
Spin a
okay.
tale.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Was it the last session where Pingsley died? Did we just go to the city? I guess it was both, right?
I think he had passed, and then we basically took all our treasure and Kingsley's body, and we went to the city, and we.
You keep going, Lee.
Couple
You got
things.
you got it, Lee. You'll get the point. Keep going.
I think we purchased a couple things. People tried to get some things, repaired.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Parents, which was not all that fun because, of course, they hate us now.
We had to tell
And
his
then-
parents, and we're not
Yeah.
welcome there anymore because they think we killed him.
Yeah, pretty much. That was rough. But and then we managed to find another stout to continue our quest. I think we have a couple different
Options.
quests we're looking into. Yeah, the tower in the swamp, and then possible wizard picture, the mermaid attack over there by my home area.
Mm-hmm.
We left off. I think we were getting ready to head on
Mermaids
out, right?
abducting people and shit.
I have a quick
Yeah.
question. Do we still have?
I think.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm wearing the mouse mask. Just to let y'all know that we kept that. It's on my face.
Correct. And also, you also heard word that ghouls have been ravaging the countryside lately.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow they've been washing up on the shores and then just immediately attacking the coastal towns. Hasn't been very pretty.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the undead.
Okay. So yeah, Lee, I think you pretty much wrapped that up. We just pretty much fought spiders, went back to town, and then that was.
Yeah, because Alex took over GMing like halfway through the session.
Yes.
We ended the Inn of the Three, House of the Three Squires, and then Alex took over during the town phase.
Okay, and Narn, can you tell me a little bit about you? Because we just met you.
Sure.
What are you?
I am a dwarf adventurer from Grundon Hall. I'm an orphan, and I'm still on good terms, with the dwarves of Grundon Hall. But I have an enemy. His name is Grax. He's also a dwarven adventurer. And I'm looking for him. So I've gone out of the halls, out into the wilderness, and actually went to Griffinholm looking for him. And that's where I met you guys.
Mm-hmm. Are you a fighter, or like what is your?
I'm all of the above. except spells. I don't do spells. No, a dwarven adventurer basically is he's a fighter, okay, but he also knows he has some skills like dungeoneering skills. His specialty is cartography, so I can make maps and stuff. I'm pretty damn good at fighting. Pretty damn good at dungeoneering. Everything else I'm pretty mediocre at. Even cartography, my specialty.
Awesome, man. Cartography and dungeoneering and fighter, it's all what we needed.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Indeed.
44 years old. Pretty young for a dwarf, so this will be my first adventure.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I have some traits here. I have fearless, loner, and born of earth and stone. Born of earth and stone is the sort of dwarven trait. And it says, dwarves were shaped by their maker from the bones of the earth, and they share many qualities with earth and stone. Dwarves are steadfast and sturdy in all things, with a special feel for metal and stone, but they can also be stubborn and unyielding. So, yeah, fearless, loner, and born of earth and stone. And then I have a couple of wises here. I have shrewd appraisal wise, which is perfect for a dwarf, and map wise.
Great. Well, you're going to be a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my weapon of choice is just like Breck, sword and shield, baby.
Okay.
Combo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, after having met the dwarf, you have set out this fine morning to I believe you guys chose to go to Winterkeep, or where was it that your destination was? You guys are still sort of just now crossing the bridge over the river Griffinholm to head down along the path to Riveri. But you have plenty of options in regards to where you wanted to go. I can't quite remember which option you guys went with.
Yes. Were we going to go to Loman's Valley and check out that area?
Yeah, Solomon's Folly is supposedly the place where a mad wizard Zarn has fled into a picture. He was a crazy wizard out there. There were also rumors of frog people out there. You're not sure exactly what to think of that.
Were there
But
witches
definitely seems
somewhere
like a
around there?
good. Yeah, there were also a group of gypsies that
Oh,
roam
gypsy.
roam along the banks of Moment's Folly. They never seem to go in, but they are they're said to be sort of a weird group of gypsies that have a caravan.
What other places and rumors have we heard about? I know there was one by the water there. Where was that? What location was that?
There is Winterkeep as well. Winterkeep is Breck's hometown, I believe, and that is where his family is stationed. Apparently, sirens have been kidnapping young girls
Oh Lord.
at Winterkeep, and Breck, I believe your cousin was taken, was what you had heard from in a letter from your mentor. Outside of that, you now have heard from the Watch coming back to Griffinholm from their patrol of the northern reaches there that ghouls have been coming in from the shores far to the north there, closer to Dullard Town and Bogwatch, and they've been attacking and ransacking graveyards.
Narn is probably wondering secretly, you know, I mean, he's probably going to give way to Breck and Violet since he just joined the group, but he's wondering what the best prospects for treasure probably are among these rumors. Like, do we kill the frog people and take their treasure? Do we kill the gypsies and take their treasure? Do we kill the mermaids and take their treasure? Who has the most treasure? Wonders Narn.
Oh, and also I don't process. Another way to think about it is, could we take this in stages, like on our way down?
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
Yeah.
Good
Could we
idea.
Can we stop and kind of check out Loman's Folly for a day?
On the way to Winter's Keep, yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Just
I don't
take
know.
take everyone's treasure in succession.
Exactly. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm that greedy, but I think you've
I am.
have given me that inspiration.
I don't mind killing gypsies if there's treasure involved.
Okay. Is everybody on their conditions cleared up? Because you just kind of did the prologue and it's your birthday and you get to remove a
Oh,
hungry, a
yes,
thirsty,
you
and
did do the
angry or something.
prologue. Correct.
I mean, if you have hungry, thirsty, angry, afraid, exhausted, recover 1 point of tax nature and gain a pass or fail mark for a skill or stat.
Yes.
Well,
So you
it's
get
still marked
to,
I'm still marked as angry. Is that correct?
Well, I think you can take that off then now.
that is correct. So you get
Okay.
to take that off. You're no longer angry.
I was still angry about Pingsley. I think that was the deal.
Yeah.
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 Enraged that he died.
Yeah. And
But
then
now your
remove-
mind is more towards treasure.
And then weren't we kind of
Okay.
treated badly by Pingsley's parents too, Momo and Popo or whatever?
Oh yeah,
I
they
don't
do
think they
not
like
like
us.
you anymore. They believe that you are single-handedly responsible for the death of their son.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, if only they knew.
So he gets 1 point of tax nature back if it was taxed, right?
Actually, he removed angry, so that does he get to do both or is it just one?
He has to pick one.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I think we now have a pretty solid idea of where we're going, so now we get to set our goals for the session.
Right. Okay.
All right. I have mine.
Excellent.
Narn's goal is to show Breck and Violet my worth as an adventurer,
Very good.
Very
since I'm the
nice.
newbie.
Violet, what about you? What's your goal for the session?
Well, are we planning to go to Loman's Folly?
We
Sounds
are.
like that's the plan.
If
Okay,
that
well
is
then
what
my
you so
goal
choose.
is to find the picture with the wizard in it.
Okay.
Yeah. That would go along with the Wizard's Tower, in Loman's Folly, I guess.
Indeed. And then, Breck, what would your goal for the session be?
Well, I think if we're gonna follow this plan, we're gonna kind of stop at each of these places along the way. Acquire treasure.
There you go.
Excellent.
That's a pretty ambitious goal for Violet, I think, Angie. Do you think we're going to find this picture this session?
I don't know.
Don't you think maybe it might be better to find the tower first? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess the tower could be one of those places like we were just at where it's like miles long. Yeah, I think you're right. I will just change it to find the wizard's tower.
Yeah, it's got to be something you can kind of either work towards or accomplish this session.
Okay.
Very good. And
Oh.
then...
Oh, and I wanted to
Yeah.
point out too, I changed Narn's alignment. It's chaos.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Of course it's chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, that's cool. And then... Let's see here. So then, players will change their beliefs or instincts if they wish. Does anybody want to change their belief or their instinct for the session?
I'm gonna keep mine, I think.
Yeah, my belief is pretty good. My instincts are right.
Excellent.
What are your beliefs?
And yes, what are our beliefs and instincts right now?
Mine is protecting those who would protect me, or those who cannot protect themselves is how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then my instinct is I always thoroughly search unexplored areas.
That's been very useful for you. Breck,
Darn.
what's your belief and instinct?
Belief is hesitation kills. Only the brave and decisive will be victorious. Instinct is I always determine the strength and weaknesses of my enemies.
Ooh, very good. And then Narn.
Narn's belief is there's naught for me but blood and treasure spent and earned.
Mm-hmm.
And my instinct is Always demonstrate dwarven know-how when exploring underground.
Very good. Excellent.
For those
And
free
then-
for those free dungeoneering tests.
Excellent. And so that covers it. We can now begin.
Oh, and Narn is fresh. It's his
Very
first
good.
adventure. Yeah.
Excellent. And so we shall begin. And so you head down the path, correct? You're going down to Riveri and then through to Loman's Folly.
Yep. On foot.
Matter of
Because
fact,
horses cost too much, apparently.
Excellent. Now there is a bridge that goes from Griffinholm further down north to Riveri, and then there is a toll bridge down here by the House of Three Squires. So you'd either be able to ford the river, or you'd be able to pay the toll. But that will be something that you can work on once you get past Riveri. You head down the path. It is a fine morning when you step forth. The hillsides are a little misty this morning. There is a nice drizzle. The sun is overhead, although it is overcast. But nothing terrible. And so you head north towards Riveri, which is a relatively uneventful travel. You get to the township. Is there anything you would like to do in Riveri? You've been here before. This is the town in which the innkeeper and all of those survivors were last, and I believe many of them are still here to this day, still sort of recovering from the terrifying debacle with the kobolds. Is there anything you would like to do in town before heading forth to Loman's Folly?
how are we on supplies, guys? Do we have enough rations and all that kind of thing?
I have 3 preserved rations, a lantern, 4 candles, 4 torches. So we're great. I'm doing really good. I've got beer and a skin. So I got lots of light and some food. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good for starters. I have 3 preserved rations and a wine skin.
Excellent. As you approach the town, you notice that they are currently building a large palisade of wood that wasn't there before. They're about halfway done. And you see many hardened men working on erecting these gigantic wooden pillars with spikes on the tops. The guards halt you and they ask your business.
Narn says, "What is the meaning of this?
Riveri.
What is the meaning of
Yes.
this?"
Traveling through to Winterkeep, my hometown.
Aye, and what is your business in Winterkeep?
I have to visit
This
my
man's-
relatives. They're distressed.
Aye, as are we. So are all of us. Haven't you heard the undead are coming? You should have stayed in Griffinholm or wherever it is that you came from.
We're adventurers. We're the ones who cleared out the House of Three Squires.
And he raises an eyebrow at you at that. This man is a very big, burly dwarf. He seems to be the captain of the guard here in Riveri. He says, "Well, keep an eye out then. We'll let you pass, but be quick about it. We don't want strangers in this town at this time." And he sort of ushers you forth, and you see that 2 guards are trailing you as you leave Riveri, sort of an escort.
Narn
And
says,
so you leave the town.
Narn, what's this guy's name?
He doesn't give you his name.
Well, I tell him, I say, "Brother, what is the meaning of the wooden wall? Wood is yielding. Stone would be better."
Aye, but stone takes too long to erect, and we don't have very many dwarves left in these parts. You'd have to go too far to the east to get to them.
Hmm. I mean, and I'll say, well, what is the meaning of this? Why the palisade all of a sudden? What are you trying to keep out? Strangers?
Well, we're trying to keep out the strangers. We're trying to keep out the dead. And really, and he sort of lowers his voice, He says, really, I think it's a lot of paranoia. The Lord here, Lord Morkan, he's been a little off lately. He's been a little paranoid. He talks to himself. His father is ill and dying, and he's going to take the throne. I think it's all a little bit stressful for him. He demanded that we set up this palisade to protect Riveri from the dead. I think he's just using it as an excuse to feed his paranoia. But that's just me.
Petty humans.
Indeed. Oh, be on your way. We don't want any trouble.
All right,
And so they escort you out of Riveri and along the path. It's getting to get. It's about mid-afternoon now, so maybe. Yeah.
You were kind of
Yeah. As you're traveling along the. Oh, I'm sorry. It's about now the sun is starting to wane, and you see the hillsides are rather stable. The rains have subsided a bit, and just as you can make out the river in the distance, you come across a strange collection of crucified ghouls along the path. So you're close now to where the House of Three Squires was. And you see that there's a man out there. He seems to be putting in these huge crucifixes with ghouls mounted on them. They're covered in all of these strange green herbs, and it looks like mint and wolfbane, all sorts of strange
the ghouls
greenery.
are on the crosses.
Indeed, yes, they seem to be the actual they seem to be ghouls themselves that are mounted on these crosses. And you see a man who's using these ropes and pulleys and pulling them up along the path. There's about 5 up now, and you can see that he has maybe 4 more before there's none left.
I approach the man, and I hold up my holy symbol, and I say, "What are you doing with those ghouls?"
Narn says, "Have you lost your mind?"
He's a wild-eyed man. He has a long beard, and he's wearing this green cloak. He looks over at you. He says, "Mad? Mad? No! We must ward the path! They're coming!"
Some
Narn.
sort of protective?
Yes. He walks over to one of the crucifixes, and he takes this wreath out from the shrubbery that seems to cover the whole entire cross. He takes out this wreath and he hands it to you. He says, "Mint. It's mint. Mint. It wards the undead. It's cold and it's alive, but it's everything that they're not." And he looks down in his hands and he says, "I made them, and it will ward them, I swear. They won't come further on this path."
Narn looks at Breck and says, "This person has obviously lost their mind." I say, "Do you know what you're doing, man? Are you crazy? All this will serve is to terrify the populace."
"But it wards them. It wards the undead. The populace, they won't travel these paths, not anymore. Not now that the dead are here."
How do you know that it's effective at warding them off? Have you seen this, or are you just...
The tales.
Where does this knowledge come from? The tales.
Oh, the tales. Yeah, the tales.
Tales.
Yes, you know, it's wolfbane for the lichens and it's mint for the dead.
I thoroughly searched the area for mint.
Oh,
I
there's
said,
mint all
how much is there around here?
Oh yeah,
We have,
there's
like, buckets.
Yeah, he actually has like crates full of mint in a wagon that you see just nearby. He appears to actually just have crates and of all of these herbs and things sort of just piled on top of a small wagon that he has nearby. It's carried by a mule or driven by a mule. and he seems to be making wreaths out of them and hanging them on these crucifixes that he has.
Jeez, do we want to take a slot and put mint in it? That's what I'm thinking.
If you believe the human superstitions.
Well, he could be right. What
I
if
think-
It works, I tell you.
I think not, lady. Look at him. He is insane.
Let me ask you guys this. I mean, we do need a place to stay tonight, correct? I'm serious. The only reason I'm saying that is because, yeah, I'm serious. I mean, it could be better than like pitching. We'll see where this guy lives, right? I mean, am I crazy?
Ask him where he lives, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Where do you live, man? Where's your crazy
Hovel.
coming from? Do you have some kind of hut?
Yeah, where's your hovel?
Me?
A hut? Where's your hut?
I live with the gypsies. I live with them in Noman's Folly.
And now things are starting to make
you
sense.
You live with the gypsies. Okay. Very cool.
Well, we're heading that way, sir.
Well, they would love to have you. I swear they would love to have you.
What, for dinner? I don't know.
Well, if you help me with these last few, I can take you there.
I prefer not to get near those.
You see that he's rather scraggly. He's got sort of sunken features, and his eyes are wild, and every once in a while, Violet, you're looking into his face. You just don't trust this guy. Once in a while, when the sun
Yeah,
hits
that's
his
why I'm
eye
staying
just
back.
right, it seems to turn from this green to like a yellow.
His eyes do? Say that again.
They seem to shift in the light.
His eyes?
Yes, his eyes. They seem to shift colors in the light.
I don't trust this guy. This guy's bad mojo. And insane to boot.
He goes over to one of the he takes this pulley out from the ground, and he sticks it into another part. He winds this rope around it. He throws it around a crucifix, and he starts to crank it, and it pulls the crucifix slowly upwards with this undead ghoul, this pale-skinned figure with this slack jaw with rows of sharp teeth.
Where did you find these creatures, old man?
We hunt them. We kill them. It is our
Where?
duty.
Where?
At Omen's Folly, of course. That's where they're coming from.
Oh. That's where we're
And you
going.
and the gypsies hunt them? You hunt the ghouls? Is that...
Only those that escape. Normally they are stuck in the folly, but now they've come back. They're streaming out, and I don't know why. We've warded them for centuries.
How did you kill these?
These? Well, with the sword, of course. And he pulls out you see that he has this little short sword. It's like half rusted.
Okay.
So they can be killed by normal means?
Well, of course.
That's good to know.
And so he gets another crucifix up, and he does the same thing with another, and then another. And it seems to be very tiresome work. But it looks like it'll take another couple of hours for him to finish with this work that he's doing here.
I walk over to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I narn over, and I'm like, hey, kind of hang back and watch this guy, maybe follow him. We can, or do you want to like actually accompany him? He and the gypsies are actually trying to stop these things.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. He's a very strange fellow. I don't trust him, Brett. But
Yeah,
we could follow him and see where he goes, and who these gypsies are that he speaks of.
How many ghouls are up, and how many does he still have to do? Because he may not be leaving for a while. If he's got a pile of ghouls and a bunch of crates of mint, he may be there for a while. I don't know.
Suddenly he perks up and he looks over at you, Violet, and he says, Geoff! My name is Geoff! And he starts to crank again. And he pushes up on one of the crucifixes. Another one comes up.
I'm looking around and exploring, and I want to know how many ghouls are there. Like, how many are up on crosses? How many are laying around? Like, how much work's he got here?
It looks like he's got 5 of them. All of these crosses have already been prepared with with these herbs and wreaths of greenery.
And he just has them tied up there, like tied with rope to these?
No, he's got them nailed up there.
Ew.
Yeah, he's got these huge stakes driven through them at various points, and the shoulders, and the feet, and the hands.
Roman on him.
Yeah, and he's got this strange little crank device, which he seems to be able to like put rope through. He can drive it into the ground and then tie it up to one of these.
Okay, so there's
one
like
of these
5
crucifixes,
up.
and
How many more are on the ground?
It looks like he's got 5 more left.
What's the purpose of putting these up on crosses?
To ward the evil and to warn the people.
To terrify the people, or like it.
To warn them. They must know. And you hear him whispering, they must know. They must know.
I think we should just head on over to it by ourselves and not hang out with this guy. He's lost his mind.
Oh, maybe he could lead us to the gypsies, though.
I mean, if he takes us to the gypsies, you know?
If
the gypsies welcome living strangers.
From what little you know of the gypsies of Loman's Folly, they're a relatively solitary bunch. They have a large number of colorful wagons. They do welcome adventurers with open arms, but they can be very suspicious of people that they're wary of persecution. Many people think that they're witches and necromancers, that they're devil worshippers, and so
that's what I've heard.
They can be, yes, indeed, and they can be they can be both wary of strangers or welcoming of people who don't immediately persecute them. They're simultaneously friendly and wary.
Suspicious, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to follow this guy when he's done working and see.
I agree. The gypsies might have information on this tower that we've heard of, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or even, it could be that somehow that this crazy stuff that's happening here with the undead is actually related. They're deep, right? I mean, it is all in this coastal area.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of connectivity there. There may not be.
All right.
Well,
so
I think our main purpose would be to find this tower.
Yeah.
And they may be able to help us do that. They may have some kind of information, even if it's just legends or stories.
I go over to one of the crates and I grab a handful of the mint.
You go over to the crate, and what you thought was just a crate full of greenery, they're actually wreaths, like the kind that you would hang on a door.
Okay, I pick one up and I hang it around my neck and I say, "Thanks for the advice."
Yes, of course.
Did I do that?
All right.
You did that. Yes.
Yeah, you can put the wreath on your neck slot if you want, or your head slot.
Superstitious elves too.
Well, let me look at that.
Yeah, you can put it around your neck slot if you want.
Well, Okay. My neck, I have a holy symbol. I don't know if that's better. I better keep the holy symbol. I don't know. Well,
Which god do you worship? Or which god does the holy symbol resemble? Or who is that for?
I don't know. I just picked it up. I don't know who it's for.
Is it a hero, or is it an actual god, or...
It
It's
was
a
off
god.
Kingsley. Isn't that who you grabbed it off of?
No, I have his. I've
Yeah,
always had
no?
I've always had this holy symbol since the beginning of the game.
Okay.
I've never.
I got you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I
Well,
guess it's just like the
I'm
goddess of
carrying a
nature,
wreath.
maybe?
I got a wreath in my hand. I'm carrying it.
Okay.
I'm keeping my holy symbol too because I never know I might need all this protection.
Great. Okay. All right, so the day drags on. It slowly turns into the evening, and you can hear the crickets start to come out into the open air. And finally, Geoff, he finishes with the last cross, and he stretches and he says, "Yes, now we can go back home. Yes, shall we go back now? Shall we go?" And he goes over to the mule and he passes it on the head, and he gets into the wagon. And
Let's
takes-
go.
yes, you can ride on the crate. You can ride on the crate if you want.
Sure.
And so you all get in the wagon. It easily is large enough for all of you to squeeze in between the crates. And so he sets off westward into Loman's Folly. And just as the day wanes into night and the sun begins to set, you see a large collection of wagons, very colorful, brightly painted wagons. And each of them seems to have symbols painted on them. You see they seem to be formed in a circle around the marsh. Or rather, not around the entire marsh, but they sort of circle around a part of the marsh, in like a defensive formation wall, almost. It's like a wall of these wagons. And so they seem to be driven by these strange large beasts, sort of half pig, half oxen creatures. You've never seen anything quite like them. The smoke of bonfires can be seen for miles around you, as if there's other groups of these gypsies that seem to be on their own, and you can smell the sweet scent of roasting meats. Beyond, you can see where the riverbed meets Hangman's Grove, which is the grove of cypress trees that circles Loman's Folly. You see that they've settled there, right on the river itself. And the old man, he rides right on into the caravan. And you see all of these people in brightly dyed clothes, and they seem to be telling stories and eating what appears to be pork. And so she
seems to be a lot more gypsies than I expected.
Yes, there seems to be a very large number of them, at least 100 here alone.
Like the Fremen. Who knew?
Yeah. So these symbols on these wagons, do I recognize them? Are they symbols of law? Are they symbols of chaos? Or are they just mysterious gypsy symbols?
They appear to be holy symbols. Specifically, they seem to be wards. Usually these would be the sort of things that would be put on gravestones of important people, or they would be the wards to important doorways and passages.
I see.
To
Right.
ward off the undead? Is that what you're saying? They're like effective at
Yes.
warding off undead? Oh,
Yeah,
Really?
that seems to be the case.
come to the right place, I guess, huh?
Indeed.
Well, Narn's stomach is grumbling. Let's find some food.
Yes, it seems there would be plenty of food. People seem to be dancing around these fires and telling great tales and singing. It seems to be quite it seems to be quite a jolly atmosphere, actually. You see Geoff, he dismounts his wagon, just leaving it there by one of these large painted one of these large painted caravans, and he just sort of wanders off, disappears into the shadows. You see a small gathering of people. They seem to be like they seem somehow a little more important. They wear larger. They wear these very colorful robes, and one of them is an elf. Of so she has this very graceful stature. You don't see any other elves here at all. And she's quietly speaking with a group of three other men, very old men with these long beards, very wizened people. Um,
Oh,
and
she's an elf,
they,
you said?
indeed, she is an elf.
Wow.
So we'll approach them. I mean, we won't interrupt their conversation, but when they pause, we'll introduce ourselves.
All right, you do approach, and they do immediately pause, and they look over to you, sort of wary-eyed. And the lady, she stands and she says, "I welcome you to our caravan. Please have a seat. Let us enjoy the bonfire together."
We'd like to talk and maybe have something to eat, have something to drink, perhaps.
Of course. And she shoots a glance over at one of the children who seems to be taking large large platters of meat to other people, and he comes bearing over with this platter, and he simply lays it at her feet and then runs off laughing. Um, and then another person comes over with this big cask of ale, oomph, lies it right down next to the platter.
I sit down
Right.
next to the elf and I say, I see you are one of my kind. And I say, What is your name? And where are you from?
My name is Lorwyn, and I am of these people. We are the we are the gypsies. Don't We are the gypsies of Loman's Folly. We don't normally accept strangers here at this camp, but seeing as I haven't seen one of my kind in a long time, I thought that I might. What is your name?
My name is Violet Fahone.
I see. It's very good to meet you, Violet. And who are these your companions?
Why, this is Breck. He is our fighting man who helps us in all of our adventures. And we also have Narn, the dwarven adventurer. And we're all here to try to see if we might find the wizard's tower and also explore the rumors of the ghouls that have been attacking these coastal towns.
I see. Yes, and she nods gracefully at Breck, and she just looks over at you, Narn, kind of a passing glance, and she looks back at you, Violet, and she says, "The Wizard's Tower. Do you mean the library in the Loman's Folly?"
Well, we heard that a
Yeah.
mad wizard fled into a picture there, which is very odd.
Yes, the that that would make sense. There was a wizard there. His name was Zon. He is the one that destroyed the library. It is now in ruins somewhere deep in the swamp beyond. We don't
What,
often go into the swamp, not anymore.
what was his name again?
It is Zon.
Zarn. Hmm.
What's the trouble with the ghouls? We tell her, we relay the story of how we oh, the crucifixes and the knolls and all that.
Yes, the ghouls.
The
Ghouls have been
ghouls.
pour Ghouls have been pouring out of Loman's Folly since about 4 days ago. It seems that our wards have suddenly stopped working as well. And what's worse, the blood moon has returned. And Narn, this statement, it sort of sends a shiver down your spine. The blood moon is a sort of a dwarven legend. It's not very commonly known, but it's said that in certain places of extreme evil, where chaos is so thoroughly in like so thoroughly bound to the location itself, the moon will some days turn red, and this is usually a place where demon worshippers will gather, and this is where they worship.
Mhm.
They call this the blood moon. It's not very well. It's sort of a legend. There haven't been any locations where the blood moon has been spotted in Griffinholm for eons. The last place was in the mountain where the abandoned mine lays, but that was because a dragon of extreme power had taken up residence there, and when he was slain, the blood moon ceased. But to hear that the blood moon is rising over Bloman's Folly is a very troubling omen to you.
Okay,
Do you
but I
think there's do you think there's something behind this?
I'm not sure. I We don't travel into Loman's Folly. The place has been riddled with corruption and destruction. Strange creatures have been living there for
You mean not Loman's Folly? That's where we're at.
yes, Loman's Folly.
So I turn to Narn and I see the look on his face and I say, what's up?
just legends, stories. Fear not the blood moon. I am fearless.
She
I'm,
she
I'm,
looks down at you. She looks down at you and she kind of scoffs and says, "You will see the blood moon. It does rise over the shore."
what concerns me, lady, is you mentioned a library. It's not books I am interested in. It is treasure.
Ah, well, then it would seem the library would be the best place for you then. The library was once a very was the library is an ancient place. Long, long ago, we don't know when. It was the seat of power among the greatest wizards that our world had ever known. Library, though I wouldn't suggest you go I wouldn't suggest that you go far into the swamps. We don't know where the tower is any longer. All we know is that strange, terrible creatures have been roaming the swamplands for at least a decade now, and only now have they finally decided to leave.
I turn to Narn and I shake my head and I'm like, there's treasure in that tower ruins.
We know this. How
Yeah.
best to defend oneself against these ghouls, lady?
Ghouls can be killed, though they are resilient. They are the the best way to defend against a ghoul really is to just not encounter them, frankly. These wards that we use have been very effective in keeping them at bay and away from us, but now it seems that even they don't fear these wards. But they can be killed.
Well, I assure you one thing, lady. In the coming days, they will fear us.
Hmm. I certainly hope so. And she takes a seat, and the three men take a seat, and they begin to eat and drink. And she says,
Narn picks up
"Eh,
the whole keg of ale that they put down and just starts drinking right out of the keg.
You see the three men sort of grumble. They're like, I wanted some of that, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was for me. I pass it over to him.
They all frown at you.
I frown back.
So I'll pour myself. Are there glasses or are we just chugging out of the keg?
Well,
You manage to find a well, there are tables scattered about as well, and they have all sorts of plates and mugs, and
Yeah,
you
I'll
find an empty
gather up a
mug.
set
Yeah.
of plates and mugs for us, and We'll fill up
Excellent.
our mugs and
Yeah.
we tell our host about our adventure at the House of Three Squires.
They take great interest in your tale of the at the House of Three Squires. One of the three men says, "Kobolds. I knew that there would be kobolds out there. See, didn't I tell you that?" And the elf, she nods, says, "Kobolds are known to live mostly in the Tremblewood Forest. It's not surprising to me that they would travel that far out. Did you kill them all? Did you rid them? Did you rid our lands of those vile creatures?"
We did.
Yeah, we tell them in detail about the slaughter and the
They seem
underground caverns and the spider and all of it, and Pingsley's bravery and the whole
Mm-hmm.
story.
they absolutely believe you, and they seem genuinely appreciative of your efforts to destroy these creatures. Although they are a little disturbed at the tales of your tale of the giant spider and how it dragged that poor old lady off.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah, it was a
unfortunate.
battle. Yeah. So yeah, so we do quest for treasure, but we also part of our, of course, destroy any kind of harmful
Well, then perhaps
same.
you are right at home here. That would be exactly what we're trying to do. Though
Exactly.
these days we do not feel that we are fully equipped to deal with the evil that has been contained within Moment's Folly. Perhaps it would be best then if you headed into the swamp. There's a boathouse not too far from here, and she points off in the direction. She points off in the direction of the mangroves. Two men take up residence there. They call themselves witch hunters. They don't trust us and they do not like us, but perhaps they would have some more information for you.
I look at her before we leave and I say, "Tell me about the. In my hand, I'm holding a wreath of mint, and we were told that this is helpful. Is that true against the ghouls?"
She smirks and she says, "And who was it that told you that? Was it Geoff?"
It was the crazy man who was putting all of the ghouls on up on the crosses.
At that, she raises her eyebrows and she looks around and she says, "Is that what he was doing all day? Well, yes, that would be Geoff. He's a poor man. We took him in recently. We don't know where he came from or why he's been staying here so long. He seems to be rather mad. But yes, there are legends of mint being as effective as wolfbane is to lichens, but we don't really know what that means. He seems to believe it
Well,
full-heartedly."
well, I don't want to badly about anybody I just met, but we kind of relay our uneasy feeling about him, and also the whole eye thing, his eye color changing. We relate that to her. Uh,
At that, their eyes sort of narrow, and
yeah,
the three
you might
men and
want to
the elf sort of exchange looks at each other. Yes, that is disturbing indeed.
you might want to find him and figure out what's going on. We had a general. I think Narn agrees, right? There's something not right with that guy.
He should be locked up in a loony bin.
At least in a cage in the ground somewhere. I don't know.
That sounds even better.
Until you can figure out what the heck's going on with him.
They frown and they nod and they say, "We thank you for your information. You may rest here for the night if you would like, and then you may set out towards the folly and come the morning."
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. We appreciate a safe camp and the food and the wine. It'll be great. We'll head out to the mangroves tomorrow and see what we can find out.
Of course, and we are pleased to have your company.
Thanks for having us.
The the night passes then without very much event. There is no that the there are no raids or anything on the caravan, and the in the mor come the morning, Brack, you usually rise very early, and you see a figure sort of take off down the towards the down the riverbank early on, past the wall of caravans, and he disappears into the mangroves.
Wait, are there guards posted anywhere, or are there people like doing watch?
It doesn't seem that there are very many. There are people that do seem to be watching from the tops of the caravans, or at least they were supposed to. It looks like most of them are asleep now.
Any of them awake?
It doesn't look like any of them that would have seen the figure. No.
All right, so where's our host located?
She is in the largest wagon, which is sort of on the northern side of the camp. It's actually like a two-tiered wagon that she lives in.
I'll wake up my compatriots and be like, "Hey, I just spotted some guy snaking off over here towards the mangroves. I think I need to tell the leader." So
Yeah.
we'll approach their.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'll approach their
Excellent.
the big.
The mist begins to roll in across the swamplands, and you knock on the door of the elf, and she actually answers, still dressed in that full, very brightly colored robe, and she raises an eyebrow and says, "Yes, how may I help you this morning?"
Tell her. I just saw someone snake off, uh, kind of surreptitiously, sneaking off towards the mangroves.
She frowns and she nods and she says, "It was likely one of the spirits of one of the people of the grove. I mean, this. Do you know why they call these place the? Do you know why they call this the Hangman's Grove?
I could venture a guess, but no, not specifically.
This used to be the place where the prisoners and those slated for execution from Griffin Home were brought to be hanged. Spirits and shadows often will roam these forests without. Well, they like to play pranks. They like to
Fantastic one.
assault. They are vicious. They are evil. The
That might have been
spirits of
the crazy
murderers.
man. I thought it might have been the crazy man sneaking off to do something untoward.
Geoff, it, she she seems a little flustered. She says, "I don't believe that it was Geoff. I mean, his wagon. He would have brought his wagon with him, and it seems to still be here. You see that the wagon is still exactly where he had left it, and the mule is still there as well, hitched to it."
All right, well, forgive me. I'm a cautious type.
And she smiles and she says, "I thank you for your caution, but Geoff, while a little strange, he is not a bad man, and I don't see why he would go into the folly. He has always been terrified of the swamp."
Okay. All right.
So
Around
are,
here.
I'm
So are
telling
we
you,
going to
I'm
head
telling
that
you,
way?
Breck, there's something wrong with that guy. He needs to be imprisoned or killed. I'd be happy
I
to
agree,
meet.
no,
I'd be
I
happy to
agree.
take his head.
Yeah, well, we may have to do that. We'll see what happens. Let's wait. Let's try to get out of here so we can start looking for some treasure, right?
All right,
Yes.
and so you
We'll eat
head.
some breakfast. They'll eat some breakfast, and then we'll head out towards the mangroves where they told us the two witch hunters were.
Yes, there is a boathouse. She said, right there, sort of at the right there where the river begins to really descend into the mangrove. There's a boathouse where two witch hunters are said to live.
All right.
Go
Well,
say hello to the witch hunters.
yeah, that's where we're gonna go.
Okay,
And we're looking
and
out for the
so
old man too.
of course. All right, and so I guess we don't need to begin the grind quite yet. I don't think. All right, so the the Grizzly Swampland, which lies at the shore of the shore of the Sea of Drowning Men. That would be Loman's Folly here. You head down the riverbed, and you do find the boathouse. It's this little it's this little wooden shack that seems to be right there along the river, which is a very fast flowing river. It's almost a white river rapid type deal. Um, it's this wooden shack with a mill that's located on like the side. It churns along with the water.
Mhm.
Um, you do see that it looks like there is a light inside that has windows. It does look like it is lit in there. You see two horses that have been tied up on the back of this
Hmm.
shack.
No sign of any people though, huh?
It looks like there would be light inside. Then there are the two horses, so I would say that would be fine enough. You
They're
find
probably,
prints leading
I,
into
they're
it.
probably, yeah, they're inside. We should hail them though before we get too close, guys, because we don't want them to or something, right?
right. Well, can't we just go up and knock on the door?
Absolutely.
Well, you would be the one to do that,
Yeah, we'll
Violet.
hail.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to go up and knock on the door.
All right, excellent. The soil is a little muddy now. It's a little marshy, a little spongy beneath your boots. You reach the doorway. You all around you are these mangroves, these large sort of arching trees that seem to grow right into the river and into the mud itself. You climb up these stairs which creak beneath your boots, and you knock twice, and immediately a man answers. He's very cleanly shaven. He has short hair. He has blue eyes and a very stoic look on his face. He has these almost heroic features. He's a beautiful person. He wears this chain armor with these huge pauldrons, and he has this sword with a lion's head on its hilt. He answers, "And who, may I ask, are you?"
And I wink at him and say, hello. My name is Violet.
He raises an eyebrow, um, and he says, "Yes, and how may we help you today?"
I say, we are adventurers. We have come to explore Loman's Folly.
"I see. That probably isn't a wise decision. Loman's Folly is a very dangerous place. Are you here alone?"
No, I have my two brave companions with me.
"I see. One moment." And he looks back behind him, and he says, "Jacob, we have a visitor." And you hear some scrambling, and you see this cantankerous old man. His face is all wrinkled, and he also appears to have this huge bastard sword with a lion's head carved into the hilt. He peers over the shoulder. He peers over this man's shoulder, and he says, "And what do you want?"
Here, your witch killers.
"Yes, we do be witch killers, but what do you want?"
And tell them about our adventure at the House of Three Squires and how we heard that there were problems here at Loman's Folly, and that's what we do. We try to
We clear out.
we try to kill those things that threaten men. We're some of the shields of man, just like you guys are.
The man,
We're not specific
the
witches.
the taller, handsome man. He looks down. He looks down at Jacob, and he sort of pushes him back, and he says, "Please come in, come in. I do apologize, but we do have every reason to be suspicious. People have been coming in from that caravan lately into the woods, and frankly, we don't appreciate that at all." And they step back, and as you look in, Violet, you're the first one to sort of step into this boathouse. You see that they have all of these papers that seem to be waterproof. They're like these huge papyrus scrolls with all of these drawings and maps, and they seem to be in this long flowing script, notes and all sorts of strange information, drawings of people's faces, maps of the swamp,
Mhm.
strange,
So the swamp, you say?
strange script. Indeed, maps of the swamp, or at least what they think would be the swamp. You see the handsome man. He looks down at one of the maps and he rubs his chin. And Jacob says, "Listen, Lyther, I don't like visitors." And he looks back over at Jacob and he says, "Look, we could probably use all the help we can get. The blood moon's only one night away. I don't think that." But he looks over at you and he says, "I do apologize for his manners.
Okay.
Please come in, come in."
We have some eccentric friends ourselves. It doesn't mean that they're not awesome fighters. I'm sure he's an awesome fighter.
I'm looking around and I say it's quite a collection you have here. Where did
Yes,
you acquire all of this?
These papers, they're everywhere. They're nailed to the walls. They're all over the floor. It's an overwhelming abundance of notes
So,
and information.
I turn to him and I say, "There, you have some maps of the swamp. I'm seeing over there. Some."
He looks at you and he says, "They're not quite maps of the swamp. Where they are, where we think the house is. Now, listen, we are witch hunters. We're here on official business. We believe that the Coven of the Blood Moon has taken up steading here in Loman's Folly, and we seek to find them and root them out. They have
Hold on.
a strange.
What house?
Did you say? What did you just say?
The Coven of the Blood Moon. They're here. They're in Loman's Folly. We have. Yes, witches, of course. That's why we're here. Official business.
At that, Narn kind of rolls his eyes like, "Oh God, here we go, witches."
Official business.
Yes.
Are you here on behalf of the government?
We are here on behalf of the Lord of Griffinholm himself, the great King Solomon. Of course, that being
really?
the King of Griffinholm and the leader of these lands overall.
Oh, wow.
We came here originally with a warrant of arrest for a woman who has been perceived as a witch. She is a known necromancer. She raised the dead in Hindhart. There, she went to the graveyard, she raised the dead, they attacked, and so she fled, and we have been hunting her. Well, come to find out, she's taken up steading here in Loman's Folly, and not only that, but she has raised herself a coven. That's who we are now hunting. But the problem is, we don't know where they are. This map is as good as we can get of where the house has been seen. They have this strange traveling house. It only appears at the night of the blood moon, and it seems to be able to change its location.
A traveling house.
It's very strange. Well, I'm kind of looking around the room, and since I'm book-wise, I'm trying to see if there's anything, or elven-wise. I'm looking around to see if there's anything of interest to me that might be helpful.
Okay. So you're just pouring through some of these notes, or just doing quick glance, like just looking around?
Yeah, I'm just kind of scoping everything out. Like, is there anything that might be helpful that I might think we could use?
You do see that a lot of these papers are actually profiles of the people that live in the caravan nearby. Like seem to be profiles of people from the gypsy caravan. You do manage to find one for the leader. Her name is Lorwyn. She is the elven leader of the gypsy caravan. They call themselves the Defenders of the Moon. You're not sure what that means, but that seems to be the official name of whatever she's doing out there.
Defenders of the what?
Defenders of the Moon.
Okay.
They seem to be worshippers of a goddess who a goddess of the moon itself. They seem to have a deep hatred of the undead, and that's why they have all of these wards. They have like scrawled these words on papers, and they try to figure out what exactly the meanings of these words are or how they work. They seem to be enchanted, but the profile of the elf says that she is simply insane, which you come to find out seems to be written on all of these people's profiles. They just seem to be deemed mad people. Some of them are even accused of being witches, but they don't have any evidence of that quite yet. That seems to be all circumstantial. You don't find anything on Geoff, though.
Narn will ask the main guy, will say, My lord, why do the gypsies fear you so? They do
Because
not
they're
seem...
witches.
The gypsies are witches.
Of course they are. Why else would they be so close to this evil place? Why else would they have not fled? Why do they remain here? They say that it's to defend the undead, or rather to defend against the undead, but I think personally they're the ones raising them.
Do you think?
Jacob says they're harboring fugitives, and he picks up one of the pieces of paper and he points to it. It has this scrawled. It has the scrawled drawing of a young girl, and it says, "This girl was sighted in Hindart. She was one of the followers of that woman who raised the undead. I know it, and she's there with the gypsies. They're harboring fugitives. They are witches. I know it. And if they're
Well,
not witches, they're defending witches."
well, we stayed with them last night, and
Yes,
they took us in and they fed us. They did not seem like
that's.
witches to me.
Oh, give them time.
Well, they are trying to kill the ghouls, which, are killing people, and that seems to be a good thing, not a bad thing. Maybe they're good witches.
Lyther laughs and he says, "Good witches, there's no such thing. Listen, these people, what they do is they try to trick you. They make you think that they are on the side of good when truly they are evil, very evil. They feed on your good intentions and they lie." He looks over at one of the maps and he says, "It's strange to me that people from the caravan seem to disappear into the forest, or rather the swamp, and they never seem to come back. It's very odd. I personally don't believe that they're being slain out there. I think they're joining the coven."
Or the coven could be, kidnapping them, right? I mean, it's possible.
It's
Well,
possible.
why the subtlety, my lord? Why does not the king just wipe them out? They do not seem to be well armed or fortified.
That is true, but the
Would take but
king
a
is a
small band of men to wipe them out, in my opinion.
that is true, but the king is a good man, and he wants proof, hard proof, that these people are witches. And moreover, we're not really here to persecute them. We're just here to find a fugitive. We don't have the
Well,
authority to call for a raid.
that's totally legitimate. That means your king is a reasonable. Our king is a reasonable man. On your maps here, have you ever found any kind of like ruins out in the
Oh,
swamp,
Yes,
like
like towers,
a ruin of a tower? Is that
sunken
something you
ruins,
guys have ever
perhaps.
seen? Yeah,
well,
or
he
any.
looks at he looks down at the map and he says, "Well, we only really have explored the northern side of these forests. On the other side of the river, I believe that's where they say the ruins were located at this ancient library. We haven't really done too much exploring there, though. We only know that the house has been sighted most on the northern side of the river, or rather the
That's
southern side.
well, that's good. That you just saved us a lot of running around. We know it's not on the northern side, then, correct, or is it?
I'm sorry. Yes, no. The northern side of the forest is where the witches are. The southern side is where they say the ruins are, but we're not really sure. We don't do too much exploring that way.
Well, that's good. That's some good information, Narn.
Yes, yes.
Just a little
Just
closer to.
yeah, and I think Narn kind of secretly, and it may come out, but Narn, I imagine, is not really too interested in all of this political mumbo jumbo bullshit. He came down here to find some ruins and some treasure. Um, you know,
Gold.
in and he probably would tell Breck this. Maybe not so much Violet, but he'd say something like, Breck, this is just a bunch of political mumbo jumbo. Let's not get involved in this.
Yeah, I tell him, I say, we're just here to, reconnoiter, make sure these guys know we're not enemies, and now we kind of know where the tower ruins are, so that's where we'll go.
Right. I mean, obviously we're not witches, so.
No, we're not witches, and like they know that we'll, of course, if we run into them, we'll kill them.
That's right.
Okay.
So
I have a question about the tower. I'm trying to understand. Was the tower a library that the wizard
Yes.
blew up?
Yes.
Okay.
That
And now
seems
it's
to be the
in
story.
ruins, and then apparently he used a magical weapon to do that, and he ended up in a picture. Am I getting this straight?
Well, the bard tales that we heard in Griffinholm said that he escaped through his favorite painting or something, and that he had some rival sorcerers that were after him.
Oh, so
And that's how he escaped.
but
So
he
the
blew
story
up the
says.
library and the is he the one who blew up the library and the
That
tower?
seems-
according to the elf, yeah, according to the other elf, he blew it up, and then the ancient weapon of power is somewhere in the swamp underneath the tower, I guess.
Right, and he's in a picture, but like, where's the picture? Is it amongst the ruins? That's my question.
Knows.
Nobody knows. And it
Who knows if
really,
the picture was destroyed?
yeah, and really that's just a rumor. We don't even know if it's true.
I'd like to go there because the
Yeah,
blood
for
moon
sure.
is tomorrow night, and that's when we'll find the house with the witches. Because apparently it only shows up on the night when the blood moon's out, right?
If you believe in
Slifer
that kind of
smiles
thing.
and he says, "Yes, indeed. And if you would like, my lady, we are going to go out tomorrow night and we are going to attempt to locate the house again. If you would so choose, you may come with us if you would like. We could always use a helpful hand."
Just have treasure.
Well, the witches, of course, they have bounties on them.
Really? Bounties. Okay. What kind of bounty would we collect?
Well, if you were able to find proof of this house, and if we were all able to locate the proof of this house, and we were able to locate this coven of witches, the king would reward us handsomely. He is very, very serious about rooting out corruption like that, and he doesn't like the fact that there is a blood moon rising here in Lomel's Folly. If we could stop that, then I'm sure we would be handsomely rewarded.
I turn to my party members and I say, hey, maybe we should go try to check the ruins today, and then we'll come back here and then see about helping them with the bounties tomorrow.
Sounds good. That sounds like a plan.
Well, yeah, we should talk in private. Privately, I would say to Breck and Violet that if there are indeed bounties on these witches, if the king is offering some kind of, bounty or reward, then that should be ours, not theirs.
Well, if they're
I don't
helping,
like
they should get a
I
portion
don't like
of
this
it.
we talk. you know.
You're saying
Yeah, but if they're coming
go out to the you're saying go out to the ruins by ourselves and then try to find the witch home ourselves.
Kinda, yeah.
Ah.
So we can collect the full amount of money. I like the way you think, Narn.
That's right.
Okay.
And get it back to Griffinholm before they do, but then they're going to show up there too.
Yeah, because he keeps saying, we'll get the bounty. We'll stop the blood moon. Oh, no. That's our job. That's what we're going to do.
The optimal thing would be for us to go out and search these ruins, right? And then the next day just follow these guys.
Yeah.
Them get attacked, and then come and save their butts, or
yeah,
I don't know.
Not a bad idea.
It's an option. Yeah, let them take the brunt of the witch attack at first. I don't know.
I
Oh
just
my
don't.
god.
I just don't feel like we should, commit to this. If these guys are in the,
Yeah, no,
here
no,
by
we're.
here by
I
the
mean,
orders of the king, I mean, we're not. If they're giving
yeah,
it
I think we can.
freely giving us this information, then let's use it to our advantage, not their advantage.
Okay, if we're saying this in private, then I say to them, listen, we need to think about this. For now, we're going to explore the ruins. If we meet you back here tomorrow, then we'll join you. But if we don't show, it's because we're too afraid.
Narn rolls
Lythor
his
frowns
eyes.
at you and says, "Fear? I don't think you have a fearful bone in your body, man."
Well, we'll see. If we're here, we'll go with you. If not, we may be still searching the ruins. We're not sure how long that will take. Or how.
Well, suit yourselves. That would be absolutely fine as well. Frankly, we're just here on official business.
You can count us as allies. We have our own, obviously, as you know, we're adventurers. We have our own agenda, but we are definitely against any kind of undead or any kind of witch,
Of
anything like that.
course,
We definitely, yeah, we defend the
any
realm.
sane person on the side of light and justice would agree with you. Very well, you may do as you wish, but please do try not to interfere then, if you would not be with us directly.
What's the name of that necromancer, Alex?
The name of the necromancer?
Bones McGee.
You mean the chick?
that woman,
witch?
yeah,
Who?
Lady Dahlia.
Dahlia.
Who's that?
Woman that was accused of being a necromancer and raising the dead and then fleeing down here into Loman's Folly. She's part of the witch troop.
I have an ongoing list here of people I'm going to decapitate at some point.
That's your kill list. That's your kill list.
Yes.
The kill list. It's good to have one.
Yeah, I think Narn probably does carry a list. Dwarves are known to hold grudges. Let's just put it that way.
Excellent.
But yeah.
All right, and so you will head into the Loman's Folly along the.
If there's a map that they have that at least gives us some sort of points and some sort of reference, we'll have Narn cartography that to a piece of paper. I'm sure they have plenty of it laying around.
Yeah, at this point I would begin making my own map, and I would use these maps as sort of a basis for that, I think, at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, sketch out, take their map of what they have, and then you can add on to it as we travel, right?
Yep. And generally that will be done in camp and such. But yes, I am making a map as we go here.
All right. Okay,
their map and our map will actually be the first people to have a complete map of the Folly.
Yeah, I'll drop some.
That is correct.
Grab some tokens and put them out here.
Okay.
In regards to a map, they do have notes and information on the northern side of Hangman's Grove, which is where the witches are said to be. But in regards to the southern side, they don't have much. It doesn't seem like they explored very much of the southern half.
Get what you can on the north.
Other side of the river.
Get what you can on the north.
Yeah, we include all that information on our map, and we'll augment it as we travel south.
Okay. Yeah. No, you guys then would have a. What you guys understand of the north then would be that there appears to be so from the riverbed it heads down immediately along so a lot of so the riverbed it sort of slopes down southwards, and that leads to a river complex at the very heart of Loman's Folly, which they have deemed the Fetid Delta. There appear to be notes of vines that come alive and try to strangle people in the woods. There are effigies that seem to hang from the mangroves, and they have various places noted where there are ritual circles events. Also, in the center of the river at a certain point, there is the rock. There's a large rock where a banshee can be found on the flood.
Lord.
A banshee.
A banshee.
Shit.
It's dangerous.
How do you kill a banshee? Isn't that's like already dead?
I don't know. Narn's not really a superstitious type. A lot of this is just superstitious bullshit to him right now. I'm sure he'll find out otherwise eventually, though. He's not afraid. Banshee? Pfft. Right.
I say, listen, young dwarf. I've done some exploring with my father in the past, and some of this stuff, you'd be surprised. It can be real.
On one of these maps, by the way, Violet, it does have a ledger, or on the side of one of these maps, pointing very far to the east. It says Periton Nest? Question mark.
Nice. Maybe.
And so you take all of that
feather.
information. You take all of that information down.
Okay.
And so you do have a map of the northern side of Hangman's Grove, loosely.
Okay.
Enough to know what sort of dangers lie. Enough to know what sort of dangers lie where.
Okay.
And
And like I said, Narn will be keeping the map, basically, as we go. I haven't actually created a map, technically speaking, but I am creating a map as we go. So when we camp, I'll actually create the map up to the point, where we explore.
Okay. So then are you heading along the southern side of the Hangman's Grove, or are you going directly into the north?
Well, if they've kind of explored the northern side and have no knowledge of a tower, I say we explore the southern side. Like
Yes.
where it is.
Also, the river does go straight into the sea. So the river does flow directly into this huge complex of waterways, and then further out into the sea itself.
Okay.
So you'd also be able to, if they do have a rowboat, you'd also be able to take a boat if you'd like, just right through the river.
Oh, well, that beats walking.
Yeah, that's a lot faster. I mean, do we have the prerequisite skills to do that? Is it basically calm water? I mean, my fear is I have plate mail on.
It is, like I said, it's very fast and rushing waterway. So it is a little dangerous.
Yeah. Narn doesn't like boats
Yeah,
too much. He's not afraid of boats, but he doesn't like boats very much.
There is a sailor skill, I believe,
Yeah.
if I'm correct. If anybody has that, they'd be able to use that. Otherwise, it's
Violet
gonna
has
be-
it.
He does?
Mm-hmm.
What do I have? I'm sorry. I was
Sailor.
doing something here.
Oh,
Sailing.
you do
Yeah,
have sailing.
I do have sailing. Yes.
Awesome.
Really?
So you can traverse
Yeah.
you can actually traverse the water by boat then.
Awesome.
Hopefully we don't have to rely on it, but
I have a 2 in
What's your
sailor,
skill?
dude. 2 sailor.
labor and Pathfinder help Sailor, though. Lee, you have Pathfinder.
there we go.
I have Laborer, so yeah.
Do I need to
Okay,
roll
so
for the
we can do
boat?
that. Yeah.
Well, he'll
Take
tell
the
us.
boat,
He'll tell us
um,
when we need to roll.
Oh, okay.
So then,
Yeah,
which direction
beats
would you
walking.
like-
That's for sure.
Well, we're
So
going
where would you like
south,
to go
right?
South
Yeah,
of
we
the
wanna go
grove or
south.
along the river.
South along, well, I think wherever the ruin, more likely the ruin would be.
Okay, well that would definitely be somewhere in the southern portion of Hangman's Grove, which is on the southern side of the river, and so that would be very easy.
So
All right,
I'm just,
and
I'm
so
just
then
gonna
we
start
can
kind of a
begin with the
mapping
grove.
here with Hangman's Grove, I think.
Yeah, why
Alright.
don't we do that down below? Like start like we did before.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So then you leave the boathouse and you head down into the
We
main
steal
road.
we steal the rowboat once we realize that Violet is a sailor. We're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to take the
yes.
river flows? The river flows directly east into another portion. It flows past the It flows past the Hangman's Grove. The Hangman Grove just sort of like lines the river. If you'd like, you'd be able to take it along the river.
If we could go like along the river and maybe get like a little past it, so we can kind of flank up to it, right?
Sure. Okay.
Does that make sense, guys?
Totally.
Yeah, my father used to take me to the magical island of Merculus from a young age, and I used to go to that magical island with my father, and he taught me how to sail. We had to go by boat to get there.
All right. The flow of this Violet, as you step into the boat, and you sort of get a feel for the river itself, the flow is deceptively fast. It will be a little more difficult to traverse than you think, but you can definitely do it. It will take a obtuse sailor test to successfully get going, and it will be very difficult to get to actually stop without an anchor. This is only a rowboat after all.
Can we fashion a makeshift anchor?
Sure, that will. What kind of test would that be?
Laborer, right?
Laborer?
Is there another boat? Does their boat have an anchor in it? We'll take it.
They don't seem to have an anchor. It's just tied to the boathouse itself. It's a little rowboat.
A
Large enough
makeshift
for
anchor, man.
exactly
We'll
3 feet.
find a big rock and
Yeah, big
grab
rock.
a length of rope.
Okay, I will say that would be. That's
That'd help.
tough. What do you think,
I'm
Deb?
starting to not like the idea of the boat, actually.
Deb, would that
to be
something
honest with you.
think, or maybe
I think
laborer?
it'd be fun. Let's do it. I got sailor. I could do this. Let me do my sailing, honey. I know how to sail.
The only
We'll
cool
say
thing about doing it is she might be able to actually raise her score in it, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm thinking, Alex. It's not a test to find and make a makeshift anchor. It's just we can tie a rock to a rope and just use
True.
that to help the sailing tests, I guess.
For sure. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
You know, use it as
Okay.
but
tools.
so we're talking about laborer.
Nah, it's not gonna. We don't need a laborer test for this. You guys easily fashion together. You guys have Do you guys have rope?
Do.
Okay, then you can use that rope and combine it with a big, huge rock, which you can easily find nearby, and you can make that into a makeshift anchor.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's do that. Yeah. So laborer, pathfinder, survivalist helps me with sailor.
So I can help you with one, and Narn can help with one, so that's 2.
All
And
right.
you
so
have
I'd
you have 2, and the ob's 4. So you might want to burn another. If you have a
Yeah, I would think that
or
Narn can help with labor by actually kind of rowing, in the right direction. Brett could help with pathfinding, just to kind of be on the prow of the boat, just making sure.
be like this way, that way. Yeah.
Avoid the rocks or whatever.
Yeah. To the left. To the left.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll 4. Is that right? What's my ob?
Ob 2.
Actually, it's two for sailor, 2 for help, and then it should be another die for the anchor that we made, right? So
Correct.
5.
There we go.
Unless you wanted to add anything to that.
I'm gonna just roll it. Oh.
Allah.
Very good. All right, and so you do manage to get everything going very smoothly. The river flow again is very fast, but you can definitely keep the boat tame. So you immediately set down along this river. You see a few various obstacles along your path, such as large rocks that just seem to jut up from the center of the river itself. You notice that there are very oddly large alligators that seem to lounge on the shores.
Jesus.
And Narn, you're constantly looking down into the water itself, a little nervously, You see large, shadowy shapes sometimes moving against the water flow beneath you. But you do manage to traverse
fish,
Hmm.
creatures.
possibly,
Can I?
like
We
very,
might be
very
forgetting something
large
here.
fish. What's up?
So a light for 3. Do we need light?
Oh, this is definitely a lit area. The sun is still
Oh, is it daytime still?
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
it is
yeah.
still morning.
Oh, this is
Yes,
the next day. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, thank you.
correct. Yes,
Sorry,
it
I just
is.
want to make sure.
It is morning. It is definitely foggy out here, but it's not so foggy that it actually is. It's not a
Okay.
hindrance.
Beautiful. Okay. I had this weird feeling it was night. So, okay. But
Nope.
I'm glad. Okay.
So you take off down the river, and you're searching out in the deep forest for signs of a giant tower. You do see that some trees appear to be marked with cryptic runes, and you see these strange lights far out into the forest that seem to flicker, and then fade away.
Okay.
But as you're traveling down the river, you don't really see any signs of a large looming tower or anything. And the river quickly begins to bend and turn and twist, and then it begins to snake out. And you find that eventually you go you've been traveling for maybe a half mile now along this river, and you're free to stop at any time or just continue down the river until.
Well, we're looking for any kind of paths or trails or structures or
And we're looking for a
like that
good
too.
egress into the so we can head into where we think that the ruins are. Basically, a decent place where we can dock the boat, secure it, and
Mhm. Okay,
maybe
yeah, you do see a few excellent places to just sort of stop. They're not sandbars that are
yeah,
not guarded by giant alligators.
exactly. That's where we're trying to put in a place there. She
Excellent.
Yeah.
gets to mark that. She gets to mark that success, right, for
Oh,
piloting.
of course she does. Yes.
Yeah, for sailor.
Oh, for sailing. Perfect. Yeah, I forgot to do that. Thank you guys. I'm really
Yeah.
bad about check. Oh, guess what though? Oh no, no, that's something else. So, never mind. Okay, never mind. I was looking at
And
survivals.
does that advance the grind as well?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. So are we gonna? I think we need to just. How far down have we gone? Have we gone down pretty
No,
far?
yeah. We need
Meaning,
to grab one of these spots that doesn't have alligators, so we can.
yeah. Let's do that. Let's put. I'm gonna start. We're paddling over to the side.
Yeah, once we're
All
down
right.
in the swamp, we just need to kind of start looking around here, I think.
All right.
We'll,
You
we'll
manage.
dock the boat and then we'll take off.
Yeah.
Excellent. You drop that rock deep into the mud. It sinks, and the boat stays there by the sandbar. Um, Looking around, you see that you are now in what appears to be an overgrown forest. The river flows right next to you, and these very large mangroves create a huge canopy which blots out the sky above you. So it will
Let
be dark as you traverse deeper into this forest. Um,
me ask you this:
you,
are there any trees that break through the canopy? Are there that someone could climb and get up and look out to see if they could have what I'm saying?
Absolutely, it does look like they are layered, and and it looks like these strange trees are definitely very different heights. You would easily be able to find a tree to climb.
Yes. Good
You know what
idea.
I'm saying? If someone could get up above the canopy, maybe they could see something a little easier as far as like
I
which
can do that.
direction.
I think I could climb. I have Scout 3. And I have also,
Mhm.
as my instinct, I always thoroughly search unexplored areas. So I don't think we'd get a tick on that, would we?
No, you can easily throw. Yeah, that would count, but you would be doing it alone, so you can make a scout test to attempt to climb that tree and get a good lay of the land.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to do that, guys. Maybe I can
Yeah.
spot some ruins or something around here.
Now you do need light, like I said. As you're looking for as you're looking for the best tree to go through, it does get very dark very quickly as you get further and further away from the riverbed.
Right. So who's
All right.
got the
Well,
lantern?
I got a lantern on me.
Right.
But as I go up, I should be getting closer to the sky. When I get to the top, I shouldn't need it anymore. But on the way up, I have a lantern or...
Yeah, we'll light the lantern, Alex.
Excellent.
All right. And my scout is 3.
This is going to be a simple test.
I mean, I don't even know. Do I roll for that?
Yes, this is going to be a relatively simple test, but it is going to be difficult to actually climb to the top of this tree. So I would say the scout is going. Ob is going to be 2.
And Violet, look for any kind of signs of civilization, like ruins or roads or
Right.
just anything that might stick out.
Can we?
I got. I need
That's
help
correct.
with Pathfinder or Hunter for scout.
I can help with that.
How about you, Narn?
Well, I think Alex said that you're not going to get help because you're climbing the tree by
Well,
yourself.
that's right.
Oh, is
That's
that
right.
right? Okay.
That is correct because you're using your instinct. You can
I
only
only
help
have
with
a-
another instinct.
Well, I've got a scout 3. And you said
You could burn a fate or a persona, I guess, depending on what happens.
Yeah, I probably should for this because it's important. So what is it if I burn a fate? I get an extra die.
Fate will let you reroll 6s.
And then persona.
If you use it with a wise, it will let you re-roll 1 failure as well. Persona you can use to roll an extra die.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or after the roll, you can use it with a wise to re-roll all failures.
Correct.
Or you can use a persona to tap your nature as well and use your nature instead of your skill for that roll. Or I'm sorry, add your nature to the skill roll.
Oh, I
add
want
your
to add
nature
my
dice.
nature then, because my nature is a 5, dude. So I can get rid of 1 persona to get a nature, right?
To add your nature dice
my
to your scout roll, yeah.
Okay, I
And
got
remember,
it.
you do need
Yeah.
failures as well to
That's
to
true.
advance the skill itself. So you always have to kind of think, if I fail this, would the consequences probably be okay with? Would I be okay with the consequences of failing this, or would I be, or would it? Do we need to pass it? So always keep that in
also-
mind. I'm just
No, we need to pass this, and okay, I have a really big question because I'm still kind of confused on this. Like, Alex, look at my character sheet, would you, with me?
absolutely.
Okay, so like right now I have a fate 2, and
Yes.
I have spent 8, and I don't know if that's right. Am I doing this wrong? Because I don't know. Like every time I spend something, I'm supposed to put it over there because I have been the whole game.
Yes, because if you think of that as like your experience, the more you spend of your fate and persona, that's how you level up.
Right.
Yes.
but you have-
You
Spent
always
fate
keep
and
track.
persona are experience points essentially. If you scroll way down to the very, very bottom of your sheet, it will show you how many fate and persona you have to spend to reach each level.
Oh, that's right.
So to reach
okay.
level 3, you have to have spent 7 fate and 6 persona.
Oh, I was gonna say because I couldn't figure out. Like, I don't know how many I've spent. You know, like each game or each turn. You know what I mean? So now I understand that. Okay, thank you.
So I think you have enough to level up to level 3, but we're just going to have to be during the next town phase that we do to level
Okay,
up.
so I'm gonna
Correct.
get rid of go down 1 persona and then make that an 8 on the spent side then. So what does that mean down at the bottom here? Let's see. So 8. Well, it says okay. Hold on. Level is 4, 13, 9. Oh, I have to have 9 persona to level, right?
Correct.
So
You
I'm
have
not
to have
quite. I'm not
spent
quite there, but I probably will by the end of this game here today. But anyway, so I'm gonna use my nature, which is 5, and add that to my scout, which is 3. So I have 8 dice. That's really good.
That is really good. Ob 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll 8. What'd I get?
Oh my god.
What? Oh
Okay.
my god.
Okay, 1 success.
If you roll any 6s, you can roll
No
you
6s.
can use it. No 6s.
Okay.
Oh, my one success was a 5. Oh my god.
So remember when Alex was saying, well, you want to fail sometimes too. Well, congratulations, you just failed.
You failed.
You go. You get to do the failure.
So I get
Yeah.
to
Okay.
check the failure.
So mark failure on scout. Yeah.
What the heck?
All right.
Horrible. Can I do it again? I want to do it again.
So now Alex is going to introduce either a twist or conditions for the
Oh,
failure.
Yes.
That's an easy
All
one. I
right.
know what you're gonna do to me.
So you climb up on you manage to find a mangrove that is taller than all of the others. It seems to rise high up into the canopy. And so you begin to climb your way up and up and up, and you've actually managed to past the canopy, but you realize as you get to the very top that that you cannot see any sign of this tower. Whatever it is, it has to be below the canopy. And you spent maybe you spent a long time doing this, maybe an hour. And so as you're scanning, you're trying to catch any glimpse and you just can't. And so I'm going to say that you're angry that
Okay.
you cannot locate this tower right now.
Jesus.
Maybe it's just the vantage. Maybe it's just the specific tree. You don't know, but you thought this would be it. You thought this would be the easiest way to locate it, but you just can't seem to find any.
Well,
I
Al,
thought you were.
Climb on back.
I guess if I would have got a 0, you would have made me fall out of the tree and
You
get injured.
do. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. And so you do still
don't tell me
succeed. So
to,
you do manage.
Yeah.
You do manage to get to the top of the tree, and so you do scout, but you don't see any sign of the tower. However, you do see further away a clearing where the canopy seems to simply
Stop.
disappear in a square and then
There you
continue.
go.
okay, there we
that's
go.
good enough. I did get 1 success, so yeah, I can see that much. Well,
And
I know
that
which
seems to be
direction
towards
go, right?
that seems to be towards the east.
Okay.
Right. So remember, in this game, if you fail a roll, the GM can let you basically get what you wanted in whatever you were rolling for, but give you a condition, but
Right.
let you succeed at the same time. So it sounds like you succeeded, but he's giving you a condition
Yes.
for the failed
Right.
roll.
It's not like I look down and hey, the ruins are right here. I see all the
Right.
rubble. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But you do see the clear.
You're angry that you don't see the tower. However, you did find a strange square-like
thing.
shape cut out of the canopy itself.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
That's where we're heading, man.
Yep. So I
That's
climb
where
back
we're going.
down, and we're going that way.
So as now that you're angry, Angie, you can't use wises or beneficial traits while you're angry. Keep that in mind. All right, so we travel on foot. We leave the boat, or we left the boat, and we're leaving the tree that Violet climbed. We're heading towards the direction of this clearing.
Excellent. And all right, and that did not take a tick on the grind because she. All right, so as you travel along in this forest, you begin to see some signs of man-made structures. You see that there may have been terraces, sort of layered stone that was used to house gardens, that has now been completely overgrown by these strange exotic flowers, and every once in a while you'll see these strange glowing mushrooms. But as you travel across through this forest, you manage to, or as you're traveling, you start to have to climb up these terraces as they begin to surround you. Far off in the distance, Violet, again, you see this soft, glowing, blinking, pulsing light,
What the heck?
and you keep seeing these in your peripheral vision as you travel, and eventually one of them seems to simply appear in front of you, and both Breck and Narn, both of you see Violet. She just begins to start walking off into the forest and in the exact opposite direction, the way you came. And Violet, you see this pulsing, glowing light.
Like I'm following it?
Yes.
Or what do you mean? I'm walking.
Like you're
why am I
following
walking?
this, like you're following this light. You're drawn to it. Something seems to have grabbed you, and You
So
feel
I'm like
this
in a trance
urge.
type thing, or what?
Yes, you have this urge to follow this pulsing light.
Okay.
Well, Narn's gonna be like, Violet, where are you going?
Am I able to respond, or am I like totally comatose, or what's up?
I want you to make a will test as he speaks out to you.
A will test. Am I willing to
Narn says,
respond?
Breck, I think there's something wrong with Violet. Where's she going? Violet, where are you going?
Yeah, we'll call out to her.
Well, I can respond, right? I got a really good roll.
Nice roll, yeah. Narn runs
And
up behind her and grabs her by the arm.
Breck will do the same.
And so, yes, and so both of you, you turn around and watch Violet as she begins to walk off, and you run up, and then both of you see this strange pulsing light off in the distance as well. I want both of you to make a will test.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh, because if you got your eyes on it, you're going to be drawn to it too.
Alright. My will's not the greatest. I have will 3.
As well. What do we roll for that?
Your will?
Roll 3.
Oh, Sean, it's going to take you into the forest.
Can we use fate points or persona points on this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, I'll burn a persona point to get an extra die. We can use the fate point afterwards. Is that correct?
Yeah, to reroll 6s.
Ooh, nice.
I roll a 6.
You
Yes.
can re-roll that.
I'll burn a fate point and do that.
Can you do Persona and Fate all in the same? Oh, nice. Oh, wait, no, you needed a 6, but...
Excellent. Okay.
I succeed. Yeah, so that's 3 successes.
Violet and Breck, you both snap out of it. Violet first, after Narn yells out, "Violet, where are you going?" You turn to him and you sort of shake your head for a moment, and you say, and you're not really sure what you were seeing or what was happening. Breck, you also break free of this trance. This pulsing light, though, it blinks and pulses, and Narn, he begins in this strange zombie-like trance, follow this light, and then he makes a sharp turn into the darkness.
We grab it.
Yeah, we're running to grab him.
Okay.
Not looking at the light again. I'm like, don't look at that freaking
Don't
light.
look at the light, right?
Go towards the light.
Don't go towards the light.
I'm moving in front of Narn, I'm like,
Narn, you start to see more of these pulsing lights out there. They seem to be drawing you towards them. You hear these soft whispers in your mind.
I start running. I start running towards the nearest one.
I tackle him and slap. I do.
Oh.
I tackle him. Slap him in the face. Snap out of it, man.
You know what? I think this will be a conflict.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What?
Yeah, we'll say this is a conflict. Narn, your goal is to reach these lights. It's to get there.
Great.
Or I guess that doesn't matter. It's the monster's goal, but so your guys' goal then, what would your goal for this conflict be?
To basically stop Narn.
To save Narn from the clutches of the witch lights, man.
Okay.
To stop him. I do a double leg takedown.
Okay, we'll say it's a capture conflict. And so let's go ahead and do this.
I'm not hurting him, but I'm using the full weight of my plate mail to try to incapacitate him.
Okay. Sounds good. Narn does a full-on sprint into the darkness of the forest.
Yeah, here, don't use that one. Use this one.
Okay, so this is going to be a capture conflict.
Oh God.
She's an elf and I'm a human.
Fighter, hunter, hunter, fighter. Okay.
Baptist.
So darn nature.
Not as fast as a nimble elf and a human. We're on his ass.
So the first thing that happens here is we roll for disposition, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
So capture is a fighter or hunter roll, and you add your will.
All right.
So
Your
Narn
actions
would
have
be.
triggered a
Yeah,
conflict.
let's put Narn at the top here. We'll put Violet and Breck at the bottom because it's a conflict between those two and me, right?
That is
Basically.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
You guys need to choose a conflict captain. Will it be Violet or Breck?
I have
Dude,
a
I think
fighter. I have a fighter of 4.
Dude, I'm gonna freaking cast my celestial music spell and see if those things will be attracted to it. And maybe it'll get them away from us and they'll go towards the sound. Does that work on spirits or orbs or whatever?
Before we determine what everyone's doing, first we go down this procedure here. So, the conflict captain will roll for their disposition. So roll for your disposition. This would be your
Who's that, Lee?
the conflict captain. So I guess that would be Lee.
Yeah,
I'm a fighter of 4.
it's a
What is
fighter
it?
or
Yeah.
hunter roll. So whoever has the highest fighter or hunter you'd want to roll.
Yeah, mine's still only 3, so go ahead.
And what do I add to that, guys? Is it
You'll
will?
roll your fighter dice, and then you'll add your will to the number of successes.
So fighter is 4, so I'm going to roll 4, correct?
I'm doing the same thing. I have fighter 4, will 3.
We roll the fighter first, right?
Yeah, but you get help from Violet with the fighter roll though too.
Okay, so that's 5 dice then.
And Breck is or Narn is fresh, so he gets 5 dice as well.
I think I may have to burn it. Can I burn persona?
You can.
I'll burn a persona. All right, so 6, and then my will, I believe, is 3 as well.
Yeah, me too. So it's my 5 dice versus your 6 dice. We want Narn to roll low here. We both get 2.
Two and two.
Adding will, that's 5. So team
Yep,
disposition is 5. Enemy disposition is 5.
Okay.
If I roll any 6s, can I use a fate to re-roll?
You could.
I rolled a 6, I don't think I did.
Let's see. Nope, you didn't. So it's even out 5 to 5.
All right, Narn, you're full on sprinting into the darkness. Now we get to choose. So the GM chooses 3 actions, then waits for the players. So then the players will choose their weapons, which I believe counts for Mom's spell. Mom gets to choose if she wants to cast her spell, right?
Yeah, if I think it would work. I don't know.
It's
I
really
was
not
reading
that.
up on my
choices? What are your spell choices?
Okay, so yeah, the only spells I have right now is the Mystic Porter, which is not going to do anything. That's going to carry stuff. But the Celestial Music, it creates a sound that's not really there. And with a series of miniature finger gestures, I can cast the spell as like a music of the spheres, creating any sound the caster imagines from any direction. Whether it's the rumble of thunder or hunting or orchestral music, celestial music entrances the unwary mind, forcing those affected to seek the source of the bewitching sound. So I'm thinking maybe I can get all these light sources to go towards the sound. Am I correct? Can I try it?
Yeah, normally this wouldn't be like a combat spell, but I think you could use it in this situation. It says creatures that hear the unearthly sounds are drawn to investigate. To resist the lure requires a will test or nature test for monsters.
Right, and it would take their mind off of him, and they'd be attracted to, forced to be attracted to whatever the sound is, and then Karn would be freed from the light.
Okay.
That's how I
fine.
look at it.
So you're casting it on the lights.
Yeah, so the lights are. Well, I'm casting a sound that the lights are going to be forced to like just go towards. So they're going away from us and towards the sound.
Okay, sure.
What type
Okay,
of
and
sound is it going to be? It can be literally anything.
it's going to be their master's voice.
Their master's voice.
All right.
Come to me.
Okay, so the factors then. So environmental noises and drums is factor is ob 1. Animal vocalizations and wind instruments is ob 2. Human voices and string instruments is ob 3.
Oh.
And the duration for 1 turn is free. 2 turns is going to be 2. Or 1. 3 turns 2, and then 4 turns 3. So then we would add those together. So you're doing human voices and string. Human voices is what you're doing.
I believe so.
Definitely,
I believe
that would
that's
definitely get their attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So and how long do you want it to go off? You get 1 for free, and then if you wanted to add to the ob, it would be 1 for 2 turns, 2 for 3 turns, or 3 for 4 turns. So that means it would go up from ob 1, or rather ob 3 to ob 4, ob 5, or ob 6, depending on.
Well, I'll just keep it at the normal duration. I don't
1.
want to add.
Okay. So then it would be ob 3, and you must make an arcanist check, I believe.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, I have a 3 in Arcana, so.
It's a persona.
Uh,
And can we help?
you should be able to. Oh, I don't know about spells. Can you help with spells?
Lore Master
I-
can help.
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Checking to be sure.
So I would only have a 4, ob 3? Lord.
Yeah, I'm not sure how effective this is going to be against these type of creatures either.
Well, I can't fight it with a weapon, can I?
We
I'd
don't
be
know.
fighting him. I don't want to fight Narn. I don't want to hit him with a sword. I mean,
I'm not gonna hit him. I'm just trying to try to tackle him, right? Try to keep him from moving. Yeah, cast your spell, man. Why not? Do it. Burn a persona point. Max it out
Yeah.
as much as you can.
all right. So okay. So then I wouldn't get the help, but I could use my nature again, right? With the persona.
Mhm.
So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8. But I wouldn't get the help, right?
Well, I don't think Lee has Lore Master, so no.
Oh, I don't.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm gonna roll 8 dice, and it's a 3 ob, right? Come on. Oh yeah. I succeeded.
Okay. All right. Everybody hears this sound of this. Everybody hears this sort of rumbling sound. It's yes. It's like this low rumbling whisper. Come to me. Come to me. And you see the lights. They sort of flicker and flicker and flicker, but they keep going away. It doesn't seem like they're able to hear this whispering, this booming whisper.
They can't
Nice.
hear it.
Nice try, though, Violet.
Good try. So
At
I
least it doesn't seem that it's taking any effect.
Damn it.
Okay, so
Alright.
I'm going to choose my conflict cards, and then you guys can choose yours. And
choose it in one card.
all right. So Breck, you choose, then Violet chooses, then Breck chooses again.
I mean, I wouldn't want to attack him though. I don't want to do damage to him, right?
Well, an attack in this particular conflict would be something like aggressively charging forward, or like
Holding him down and
holding him down, that sort of thing.
You don't have any rope?
I figured that would be a maneuver, though.
Where'd the rope go that we used? Oh, it's back at the anchor. Does anybody else have rope?
Because this is a capture
title.
conflict, you have to think of it less as like attacking with your sword and more like, capture attacking being like,
Holding him
charging
down.
full
Crap.
throttle or holding him down. Maneuvering would be something more along the lines of like, tying him down or putting him in a stranglehold or something like that. Defending would be like strategic, like setting up an ambush, and then feint would be something along the lines of like waiting for them to spring an ambush or something along those lines. So probably more like waiting for them to take a turn and then predicting that they were going
Well,
to make
now that I think about this, Alex, I hate to bring this up now. Wouldn't this be more like a pursue conflict rather than a capture conflict?
I don't know, but we're trying to capture him.
Yeah, you're trying to capture. They're trying to capture you there.
Because
Dad,
there's no
so-
danger. There's no danger in like killing me or anything like that because it's a
No,
capture
no,
conflict.
We aren't using weapons.
correct.
Exactly. I'm just grappling.
Pursue would be like pursuing. I mean, it's more appropriate, I think, or rather, it's less appropriate than capture because if they were pursuing you, they would just be chasing you. They wouldn't be trying to tie you down and capture you.
Okay.
All right. So, are these your 3 cards, or what are the 4 cards out?
Yeah. What's this extra card over here?
I don't know. I didn't put that there. I only have 1 card. Do I get 2?
You only get 1.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Okay. And so this is it, the order?
Yeah. Oh, mine's that last one there.
Is it
Okay.
Breck first and then Violet?
Yeah, he's the conflict commander. So.
Well, they can still choose what order they go in here.
Oh, that is true. You guys can choose what order. You guys can talk about this too if you want. I mean.
Well, wait. Mine goes under this card because
Well,
that's my
no.
card right above my head.
Okay, but no.
Confusing.
Wait, Mom. Stop. Okay. So you guys should choose your order. Mom, what did you choose?
This is my
This is
card
my
above my
card.
head.
What did you choose?
I choose maneuver.
Okay. And you guys should decide like what order you want those to go in.
Well, do we have rope?
Oh,
That was my question.
Yeah, so I was going to attack first and then maneuver, right?
Okay. And Mom chose maneuver as well, so that means the maneuver would go into your maneuver, or do you want Mom's maneuver to go first?
Yeah, because you can't
See what
take
I'm
2
saying?
actions in
Kinda
a
like-
row. It's going to be
So I would
Breck,
say
Violet,
either way.
Breck.
So
Just let Brett go first with his 2, and then I'll try to maneuver if I need
No,
to.
it doesn't work like that.
no. I'll attack and then Violet will maneuver and then I'll maneuver.
Okay, well then those cards should be correct above my head there. There we go.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Okay,
All
attack
right,
versus
so-
maneuver.
Yes. Narn is going to go ahead and Narn is going to dash off. He's going to he leaps upon a rock with his dwarven might, and then leaps like across to a tree and swings away. He attempts to get away from you.
Okay.
Sneaky
Grab his,
maneuver.
I grab his dwarven foot and yank him down off the vine.
He kicks you in the face.
All right, so let's see.
Come to me. I'm
Where
going to
was
the witch
the
heights.
where was the conflict weapons here? Got it. There it is. Capture. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Dad, where's the thing for the for conflicts? Where's the
For weapons?
conflict table? Oh, here it is. Never mind. Got it. Okay. So, Dad, would you like to roll for yourself?
Yeah. Can I use my sword?
Considering that you're fleeing, I don't think so. I don't think you can use those weapons in a capture conflict, can you?
Of course.
Okay.
I
Sure,
mean,
you can
generally
use a
you-
sword.
Yeah, and capture, drive off or kill conflicts, you can use weapons.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, you can use your weapon then.
Is that great?
Yeah. Well, I would have used my weapon, my sword, I think, for, well, see, I don't know what the actions are, though, so I'm not going to use my weapon for this first one. It'll be for attack for this round, if there is an
You're right, I
attack.
should
Oh, so you're
probably
gonna
let
use a
you do it.
weapon on
Yeah.
us? You crazy right now.
So I just get a fighter roll for maneuver.
Yep.
By the way, guys, you can select these cards. If you click on the card and press Z on your keyboard, the Z key, it will zoom in the card on your
All right, so
screen.
roll
you can,
your opposed fighter rolls.
Yep. So Nar's just going to get 4 dice for his fighter. And Breck, you're going to be making a fighter roll as well for attack with Violet's help. Assuming she's helping.
I always help.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Aha!
Hold on. I think I rolled a 6 there, didn't I?
You rolled
You
1-6. Yeah.
And a bunch of ones. Oh my
All
god.
right. I think I will roll. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll burn a fade. Roll one more, just for fun. Ha!
Aha! It's a tiebreaker.
Tie, baby.
So the tiebreaker, either one of us can use a trait against ourselves to break a tie in the opponent's favor, which would give us a check. Or it's going to default to the base ability for the skill rolls that we did. So fighter is based on health, so it's going to be health versus health to break the tie. Or we can either one of us can use a trait against ourselves to get a check to break the tie in the other's favor. And I would say since Breck and Violet are kind of the initiators of this conflict, I guess. Alex, should they choose first what they're going to do to break the tie, or how are we going to do this?
I'm not gonna use a check. I'm not trying to get a check. I'm trying to incapacitate this guy.
All right.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to grapple him. I don't want him to get to the witch lights. That would be awful.
Right. Narn, you have to do everything in your power to get out of this.
I am. I will. All right, it's going to be health versus health
Sure.
then to break the tie.
Yeah.
Narn's health is 5.
It's 5.
Okay, here we go. But I think for tiebreakers, is there help in tiebreakers? I think there is. Let me look real quick.
Well, Violet helps me.
Tiebreaker rolls.
It's right there.
If you use will or health for
Let's
the
see.
initial roll.
Let's see, a tiebreaker roll is a second versus test between the two opponents. If you used a skill in the initial tied versus test, use will or health to break the tie. If the skill is physical, use health, etc.
Yep. So this is health versus health, and
then if it's still a tie, it's a nature roll to break the tie. Whoever wins the tiebreaker roll wins the versus test. So
Violet help me? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I think so.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
she'll help with her health essentially. So you'll get that 1 extra die.
Cool.
Okay,
Roll,
so
man.
Narn gets 4 dice. You get 5. 2
I got
successes.
6. I have a 5 health with her health. I have
Oh, I'm
6
sorry.
dice.
I actually should have rolled.
Yeah, you need to roll one more.
Yeah. There you go. 3 successes.
Nice.
Ah!
That's another tie. Now I believe it was nature, right? So if it's we use nature a tiebreaker, If you're forced to go to nature to break a tie, neither side suffers tax. Otherwise, the normal nature rules apply. Oh, wait. Tiebreaker tests are made alone, you against your adversary. No help allowed.
Ooh.
My bad.
Well, let's remember that for next time.
Okay.
Right.
Let's just go on a go forward here, right?
Right.
Correct.
Yep. So now it's nature versus nature. Oh, this is tense.
What's your nature, man?
My nature's
dude?
nature's fucking 5, dude.
Are you kidding me?
I'm very dwarfy. Yes. I'm extremely dwarfish. Dwarfish.
Dwarfish.
Dwarfish. All right, so I get 5. What does Breck have? 3 or something?
I have 3, yeah.
All right, here we go. I get 3 successes.
Uh-oh.
Hey, can I use
Come on, Lee,
persona
get him.
here?
Get him.
You can. Yeah.
Can I use persona here?
Jeez.
Last persona point. Yes.
Oh my
Holy
God.
crap!
Yes.
You guys are
Well-
going back and forth here.
The
Roll a
thing
6.
is,
Did I roll a 6?
you did not roll a 6. The thing is, if there is again another tie, the GM wins the roll.
If you
So we're going
cannot
to say
break the
non-
tie, then the GM wins the test and may apply a twist or condition as he sees fit. But since it's a conflict, the GM side wins apparently.
Which is still 0 on the maneuver. So
That's the root, man. That is the root. I don't like that rule.
That's not fair.
you both so it's 0 successes on either side, and
Right.
so you're both right on the tail of each other.
Actually,
no,
that's-
and you're like kicking Breck in the face and pushing him back. Breck immediately leaps right back on you, but you do the Kirk roll.
That's actually not true, Alex. Since the tie broke in my favor, I get 1 success, essentially.
Oh, you get 1 success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so yeah, Breck's grabbing at my feet, and I kick him in the face and jump over the rock, and, you know, I'm trying to get away here, but my maneuver will have a margin of success of 1, so that will let me impede your next action with -1 dice.
Yeah, he Kirk rolls you right into Violet.
So Violet, you're going to get -1 on this next action here.
It'll be a maneuver for her, right?
Oops.
Could we tie more? I mean, that was that was just like
That was insane, yeah.
tie.
That was tense.
All right.
We had the same scores too, man, in almost like 80% of those rolls.
I know. That was cool.
Except the last one where I only had.
All right, so this action is reversed. It's again attack versus maneuver, but reversed. Angie, you're going to get -1 dice on your roll for maneuver. But I think her bow gives her a bonus, doesn't it?
That is correct, yes.
Bow gets +2 dice on maneuvers. My sword's going to get me... +1 dice to attack. So I'm going to have 5 dice. Angie's getting some coffee here.
Yes.
Or tea, something. And since she's doing that, I'm going to get my coffee too. So let's just take a break for a minute. Let me get a drink.
Did I
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
I forgot to add my shield, didn't I?
Shield's only for defense action. You can use your shield for a defense action. It'll give you +2 dice. Does that make sense?
Does that count for maneuver?
No, only for defend. Will it give you +2 dice? Yep. Also, if you keep in mind, you guys, if you use a shield in combat, it affects your exhaustion recovery. There's a checkbox on your character sheet under fatigue and recovery factors. But it's only if you actually use it during the session or whatever. I see it's checked on your sheet, Breck. I'm going to uncheck it. But if you do use a shield in combat, make sure you check shield under fatigue and recovery factors.
I'm back.
As well as armor, too, can affect that. All right, you're back,
Excellent.
Angie?
Yeah,
Okay.
did you want me to roll for maneuver here, or?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, a maneuver in a capture conflict is a fighter roll.
I can help her.
Fighter roll, huh? Okay, so fighter, I have 3.
I'm helping.
So I would have a 4.
And I think you get the plus for your using your bow, right?
Yeah, a bow gives +2 dice for maneuver.
That's 2 more.
So with maneuver,
That's
I mean, what
7.
does this mean I'm doing right now? I gotta say
It's
what
up
I'm
to-
doing.
So-
right?
Yes.
I mean,
You're trying to
right,
put him in a
so
leg
he's
lock.
still trying to
or-
climb up a vine. Is that what's happening here? We can't get him to freaking come to us.
He's just
Oh.
motivated.
Correct.
He's trying to get away. So you're trying to stop him. So you're like putting him in a leg lock or your figure 4 or neck choke
Well-
or something.
I take my wreath that's in my hand and I go over his head with it, and I put it around his neck and start pulling him towards me.
And I'm trying to stab you with my sword.
No, you're not.
Yes,
I
he
am.
is.
Are you out of your freaking mind?
I've got my sword
Yes,
is
he
glinting
is.
in the fucking lantern
Hold
light.
on a minute. I'm not doing that. Then I didn't realize you had a sword. Sorry, I was away.
Hey man, you want to disarm him and put him like in an arm bar or a rear naked choke or a leg lock or something.
Yeah,
Just shoot me in the fucking leg with an arrow.
thinking about it, dude. I'm gonna shoot the freaking weapon right out of your freaking hand. Right now.
All
Can I do
right.
that with a maneuver? With a maneuver, though?
You can, actually. If you get margin
right.
of success of 3 or more, you can disarm me.
So what I got? 5?
Oops.
Is that right?
How'd that
So-
happen?
7. It should be 7, I believe.
7?
And I get...
Oh my
Um,
god! I so shot that out of your hand.
Oh, I'm fresh,
But it's-
too. So I get 5.
You are fresh. That would have made a difference in the last thing as well.
No, I counted the fresh dice in the lesson. I think.
Dude, I'm just shooting that right
Oh,
out.
I rolled a bunch of 1s. Oh, look at that. Shit, 5 versus 1, so...
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you have a margin of success of 4. So-
it's actually 4 versus 1, right?
Well, it's 5 successes, right?
Yes.
But I thought it was -1 success.
For... Oh, that's
It
right.
looks
No, it's
like-
-1 dice, actually, Angie.
Well, they'll say -1 success, right? So you got 4
Okay.
successes.
All right, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So margin of success is 3, and that's what you needed to disarm me, actually, Angie.
Really?
That's amazing.
So
Yeah,
Violet
you-
shoots the sword out of his hand. Nice.
Okay.
Damn you.
Elven dexterity.
So then the next action after that is going to be Breck versus Narn again. Narn's defending. He's got a shield still.
And then versus maneuver, it's a versus. So it's a direct versus test.
Yep. Let's see. Defend and capture is Hunter. So that would
Oh.
default to...
Maneuver fighter.
yeah. Maneuvers fighter.
So that's 4, and I assume Violet's helping me, so that's 5.
Yeah.
So in this case, Alex, do I use health, which is what Hunter's based on, or do I use beginner's luck?
I believe you use beginner's luck.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right.
Unless you have something in your nature descriptor.
Not really, I don't think. Oh wait, I might actually. Nature descriptors: delving, crafting, avenging a grudge. No,
Avenging a grudge. No.
I don't think so. I just want to see
As
what
soon as
100.
Violet shoots the sword out of his hand, and I wrap him up, grapple him to the ground. Too.
All right, so it's going to be a health test. And he's going to get halved, I guess, for beginner's luck. So his health is 5. He's fresh. That's 6 dice. He's got a shield, which gives plus 2 dice. I don't think that counts as halved, though. So 6 is halved to 3, and then the shield counts for 2. That's 5. I'm pretty sure.
And I have 5.
Again, yeah.
Again.
Let me look, though. I'm not sure if weapons are counted in beginner's luck. Let me look at it real quick. Beginner's luck using health.
And as far as using the shield in that roll, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, because it says total up the dice for the ability, wises, help, supplies, and gear, and divide that by half. And what you don't divide by half, or if traits are used, persona points, or tap nature, fresh condition. Okay, so
I think the shield would fall under gear, right?
yes. So my health is 5 plus 2 for the shield, and so I have that. That's 7. Halved would be 3, and then I add plus 1 for fresh, so that's 4 actually. So I get 4 dice for beginner's luck.
That makes sense.
I need to check my fighter skill too. Once. Okay, so I'm gonna roll health. So I get 4 dice. Defend.
Back you up, man.
Damn. 1 success. You got 3. So margin of success is 2. If you look at the maneuver card, with a margin of success of 2, you can gain position, so you get plus 2 dice on your next roll, on your next action. So we'll put the plus 2 dice over here for the first action of the next round. And we're still all at disposition 5. No disposition was lost in that first round there. So Alex, can I choose my cards this time?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, so you guys can choose your cards after I put mine out here.
As you guys are rushing through the woods here, Narn, he keeps doing these incredible leaps and bounds, almost reckless leaps and bounds over little brooks, across trees, through, vines, and bursting through foliage into, unknown darkness.
Didn't I just stop him, though? Didn't I just trip him up?
A little bit.
You guys are right on his tail. But these lights, they keep flickering, and as you guys are looking around, you see more and more and more of them.
Narn's just thinking,
faster and faster.
Must get to the witch lights. That's where the treasure is.
Why is there a plus 2D there? Is it? Oh, that's you go into the next thing.
You'll get plus 2 dice on that because of Breck's successful maneuver
I'm gonna
last
shoot
action.
I'm gonna shoot you down, dude. I'm done with you. We're tired of chasing you.
Okay, so you can freely discuss your actions now. I put out my cards.
I'm gonna maneuver again because I get that bonus.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I should attack or maneuver or defend. I do have a shield with me.
Yeah, remember, defend gives you disposition back if you're successful with it.
I mean, it's a little. I'm trying to figure out a little because, of course, my main goal is to try to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
right? Into this combat
Right.
matrix, which is a little challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Can't we just like throw a rope around him and look like a cattle and
He's wily. He's
You gotta-
doing insane things.
You have to catch me first.
At one point, you see him dive face first into a little, into a small stream, and then his head pops up like 15 feet away from that. He like dove deep into the water. That's insane.
Well, listen, you know, it's like, okay, we're trying to save your life, but we may have to injure you just in order to do that.
You
Well,
may
you're not-
indeed.
Yes, but you're not going to injure me per se. You might give me a condition, but it really depends on
I
the
don't know.
final.
If I shoot you with an arrow, you're going to be
outcome.
hurt.
Could be. It's going to depend on the final outcome of the whole conflict here. It's going
Do
to
I go
depend on how
twice
many
this time, or
disposition
do
you
go
have
twice,
left.
Brack, on this?
What's the order? What's the order of combat here, guys?
Well, there's going to be 3 actions, and no one character can take 2 actions in a row. So it's either going to be Violet, Breck, Violet, or Breck, Violet, Breck, basically.
It can be Violet, Breck, Violet. That's fine. So what are you doing? Okay, so you've already put your cards out, right, Sean?
Yeah.
I did.
I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this one.
Remember, Dad, you have been completely disarmed. Narn no longer holds his sword. It's been lost in the marsh somewhere.
I did. I put my sword card out there, still hoping that maybe we'll find it.
Well, you're too crazy to even find it. You're running away from it. I shot it out of your hand, man. That thing went
I'm
flying.
going towards where the treasure is. Obviously.
The treasure? You're
Yes.
following
Yeah,
light.
that's what he thinks, though. That he thinks he's following the treasure. We know he's going to a certain witchy doom.
Yes.
He thinks
All right.
he's going to a big pile of gold. We know he's going to get his soul ripped out of his body.
Right.
All right, ready? Here we go.
I'm ready.
Sure. Do it to it. Oh, wielder.
You're going to have to flip them, Alex.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying.
Oh.
I couldn't do it.
Attack to
You're going to
maneuver.
attack me? I can't even believe you.
Another versus test. Well, it's not necessarily attacking you, Angie. I'm trying to get away, and that's what my attack is representing, is me really trying to get away from you.
Right.
An aggressive strategy. He's
Yes.
just bolting through.
All right. I get plus 2D on this deal.
You do.
Helper. That's +3.
So it's my fighter, right? With
Mhm.
maneuver?
That's right.
So that's 4 with help from Brock.
So it's +3, so you have 7.
What's the extra one coming from?
Well, you get 2 for your bow, I believe, and you get +1.
Oh, the extra one. Okay. Oh, I get 2 for the bow?
2
You
for
get-
the bow, 2 for the previous maneuver, and 1 for help.
Oh,
Oh, that's going to be
so that's
more
even
than
more. So that's
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
okay.
Okay. And Narn gets 4 for fighter and 1 for fresh. So he gets 5. Boom!
Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Really? That is
So the-
ridiculous with
so the-
8 dice. Oh my lord, how unlucky.
Oh, and we forgot to
Happens.
put out the little tickers here. So little hit points. So
Yes.
with a disposition of 5, you guys should have figured out how to divvy up your 5 hit points.
Oh,
So either
I don't know.
one of you will have 3 and one of you will have 2. And if Violet is the one with 2 right now, she's going to be taken out of the conflict because I just did
I
2
can't get it
damage to your
move over
disposition.
there.
Just copy it, honey. Select it, hit Control C to copy, and then click on the screen where you want to paste it, and click Control V to paste.
I think I just lost a whole bunch of them. It's not working.
Copy and paste them with your keyboard commands. Control C and Control V.
I know, but it's not doing it.
Here, I'll do it. So are we putting 3 on Violet to start? Because if you only put 2 on her, she's going to be taken out of the conflict right now by Narn's 2 successes.
No, yeah, I'll take the 3.
Right.
Oh my lord! Really? What the
He's just
heck?
too quick for you, Violet.
So the team's disposition goes down to 3 out of 5. And Violet takes 2 hits.
You try to get a good vantage on a rock, but that just gives him enough time to do this crazy leap, and he bounds away. He's gained a lot of distance on you.
What the heck? You're a real pain, Narn.
I know.
He's fast. He's faster than you thought he would be with his little tiny stubby legs.
Right.
Outpacing an elf? That's insane.
All right, Alex, next action.
Excellent.
Another versus test. Attack versus defend.
Got my shield.
It turns out to be a well-played defend, too, since you guys just lost this position. So defend for capture conflict is a hunter roll. Lady of Hunter.
Let's see here.
I thought you did have that.
Two. I have a hunter of 3.
All right.
And what does a shield do?
Shield gives you +2 dice on defend action.
So that's 3 plus 2, so that's 5, and then I assume she's helping me, so that's 6.
Yeah, I think Violet has Hunter.
No,
So
I
if you
don't
get
have-
more
I don't have
successes,
Hunter.
so if you get more successes than I do in this league, you're going to add those successes to your back to your disposition.
Wait, I don't have Hunter. Are you sure I can help? What am I helping with?
You don't have Hunter?
No, he does. I don't.
Oh,
I
you
have
don't?
I have Survivalist.
Oh,
Really?
Let's see what helps Hunter. Labor and Survivalist help Hunter.
Okay, then I can help.
There you go.
Help with
Sweet.
Survivalist, yeah. So Narn's going to get 4 dice for fighter and +1 dice for fresh, so he's going to get 5 dice.
All right, I'm getting 6 dice, I believe.
Yeah, what? 3 for Hunter,
2 plus 1.
1 for help, 2 for defend,
Plus the
2
shield.
for shield. Yep.
You need to get him this time, Breck, or we're gonna lose him. He's gonna be lost to the
Shit happens.
lost to the light. Oh yeah. Oh, that's Sean. Oh.
No, I got 5. He got 4.
Oh, was that you? Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
So the margin of success is 1. So you're gonna get back 1 disposition with that defend roll.
Hey.
And that point actually goes back on the token as well. So you're at 4 to 5. Violet, you're gonna get another hit point token back on. Okay, for defend.
Sweet. That was a good roll, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, what are all these tokens doing over here? Okay, I'm still winning though. 5 to 4. All right, last action, Alex.
If you're on the witch side, yes, you're winning.
I am on the
On
witch
the
side
witch.
right now.
If you're on the witch side, I know. But
I,
not
Oh,
really.
shoot. I took them. Ah. Whoops. Ah.
Do undo. Right click the
okay.
screen and do undo.
Oh, there we go. Very good.
I'm attacking you, Narn.
Oh. I'm defending. Which isn't really going to do me much good because I'm at max disposition, but still just need to beat you. I do have my shield.
So Narn continued to charge forward while Breck tried to catch his breath for a moment. Now Narn's slowing down, trying to catch his breath, while Violet's on the chase.
Okay. So I have to shoot because you're too far away. Is that right? I can't run up on you? How's
Well,
that looking?
Well, the attack action to capture conflict is, basically directly trying to stop me and actually capture me.
Yes.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out, can I run? How far away are you now? Can I even get to you right now?
If you do well enough, yeah. I mean, you're doing a full steam ahead charge towards Narn to try and full body tackle him, basically.
I
the
believe
way
I
I
can
see it,
run a little bit faster than you because I'm taller.
Oh,
and
for
more-
sure.
Well, the way I see it, you're kind of hot on my heels,
Yeah,
Yeah, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump on your back.
you're very close to tripping him up,
I'm
and
gonna
he's
jump
just now
full
starting
force
to lose a bit
run
of
and just
steam.
like freaking dive into
Alright.
your back and up over your shoulders.
I
Like,
turn and face you
trying
and
to knock you
smack you with
down.
my shield.
well, if you can. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm doing a beginner's luck test with health. Plus
Help it,
2
Violet,
for
of
the
course.
shield. That's 7, 3, 4. I get 4 dice.
Oh, I get 4 too, I think, and that's it. Unless I use something, I could use a freaking fate to re-roll a 6, right?
Good.
If I get a 6, all right,
Mhm.
I'm going down on fate. Whoops! Oh shoot, that's supposed to be at 9. Yeah, I could level with that one. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna roll 4 dice and hope for a 6. Ready?
Oh, I got none.
Oh! Oh!
Oh.
Man,
Finally.
Alright, so that's going to do 3 damage to my disposition and hit points. So that puts me at 2 out of
Let's
5.
roll.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm on your back, dude.
Violet's on Narn's
That's another.
back.
That's two clutch rolls right there, man. That 5 and that 3 are that clutch rolling.
yeah,
All right, here we go.
You tackle him, and you're on his back. You're trying to stop him, drag him down.
Alright, I think this round is going to tell the tale here.
Either
let's
we
see.
lose you, we might lose you forever, Karn. I mean, Narn. If we don't get you now, you're gone, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I was like,
I can
game
see
over.
that happening. Yeah. I have backup characters already. Let's see. I need to do something really
Backup
nasty
characters.
here. I do.
That's the sign of a seasoned player right there.
Okay, so I'm going to oh.
I'm like, snap out of it, dude. Alright, I'm gonna choose that again, I think.
Alright, I got mine out. You guys can discuss what you want to do now.
Alright, you get to go a couple times here. I'm gonna do an attack. Again, what'd you think you can do there, Brooke?
He's looking haggard.
Yes, the mighty Pathfinder having trouble catching up with the dwarf in the swamp.
Lee?
I know. I'm trying.
Shit, you know what? I just realized I totally screwed up. I should have cast that spell on him.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been drawn to the. Oh my lord!
I thought of that after the fact too. Yeah.
Gosh, I just thought of that.
Yeah, then you maybe would have overpowered the charm that's on him.
I'll have to remember that going forward. It kind of works better on people with ears.
All right, you guys are right on his tail. Violet's literally on his back. Breck, you're starting to catch up. Narn, you're losing your breath, but you gotta get there. You hear the whispers.
Mhm.
Come with us. Join us. Come to us. Let us show you something.
Yeah, stay away from me. Leave me alone. Let me go.
We must show you.
All right. Enemy,
Dwarf.
team disposition 4, enemy disposition 2. Let's do it. First
I smash him in the head with my shield.
First action. Here we go, Alex. Flip
All
him.
right,
Wow.
first action.
Attack versus maneuver is a versus test.
Narn attempts to do a quick dodge. He's going to leap out to the side. Maybe. He'll dodge your attack.
Come on, get him.
No, I jump into a pond and I begin swimming across it.
A stinking pond lies ahead. Narn, he leaps full-bodied into it. Breck, you gotta chase after him.
"Rawr, coming after you with the shield," you know.
I smash him in the face with the shield.
You think back, there were giant alligators on those shores.
Oh my God! What an idiot jumping in there! Stop him! That's
All
what
right,
I'm
Breck,
yelling.
it's a fighter roll for attack in a capture conflict. I get a fighter roll too. My fighter's 4. I get +1 for fresh, so I get 5.
I get 4, and then she's helping me, so I get a 5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get him! Get him! Get him! Stop him! There's alligators.
You have a sword too, though.
I do. So that's a +1.
Yep, +1 dice if you use sword
Oh
for attack.
Lord, get him! Get him! Get him!
2.
Okay.
Here we
Oh
go
my
again.
gosh!
So it's a tie. So tiebreaker is a health versus health test again.
Oh,
I'm fresh
you're really
though.
trying to get out of there.
I have 5 health, and I'm fresh. I get 6 dice.
I have 5 health.
All right.
Bash him!
I get 3 successes for the tiebreaker. Breck gets 4.
Whoa!
Oh my
Nice.
lord.
Nice.
All right, so that does 1 more damage to my disposition. Puts me at 1.
Narn, you dive into this pond. Breck, you dive right in as well. You try to search around for Narn, and you grab onto his neck. You pull him up.
Smash him in the face with my shield.
And I'm cursing at you now in Dwarvish.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This
I'm not
could be
in the
bad.
water. I'm still on the shore, bow drawn.
Yeah, if she's using her bow, it's a versus test.
At this point,
Oh, you're right.
If you don't use your bow, it's not a versus test.
I'm using my bow.
Okay.
That's smart.
I'm gonna shoot you in the shoulder, and I'm gonna stop you dead in your tracks right now. I'm done.
Violet
with this.
aims for the pinning shot.
It's getting way too dangerous.
All right, watch this. I'm going to win right now.
You're not.
I get 4 dice.
You don't want to win, or you're out of the
For
game,
fighter.
buddy.
I get an extra die for fresh. I get 5 dice. What you got?
I got 4, and then I'm going to use another fate. I'm at 10 fate now.
You're making a fighter test, right?
Yeah, it's 4, right? So plus,
You don't have
do
fighter
I get
4.
any kind of? I have a fighter 3, but he's helping me. It's 4.
Okay, right. With help, it's 4.
I think, and then I'm using a fate. So if I roll a 6, I can roll another die. Okay?
All right, watch this.
That's all I get. What do you got? How many dice you get?
I have fighter 4, and I get an extra die for being fresh. So I have 5 dice. Boom, and I get 0 successes. Damn it.
Ooh, I get
Yes,
you in the
bro.
shoulder right there, buddy. You're down.
Okay.
Narn, you climb out of the pool, and just as you start to try and crawl your way back to your feet, an arrow thunk right into your back, and you collapse.
Okay.
The lights suddenly everywhere, all of them, which seem to have been growing in intense numbers, they go out. Your lantern, it goes out.
Shut
It's very, very dark out here. Narn, I'm going to say that the result of this conflict means that you do not reach the place the lights were trying to lead you to, but you are now injured.
Well,
I'm sorry?
they're the ones who have to offer a minor compromise.
Oh, I guess that's correct. Yeah.
Well, that would be
okay.
correct. Don't you agree? Right, he's injured for sure. Where did I hit you? I hit you in the shoulder where I wanted to. It was a good
Right
shot.
in the back, yeah.
Okay.
Brack, Violet, or I guess, Dad, if you want to offer them a minor compromise, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, Alex. I'm a little confused here because
Well, I'm controlling. Ultimately, this is kind of yes. Breck, Violet, Nard will be injured,
So I think we're dragging him
but
up to the shore, right? At this point, because
yes,
Breck was right there. He just bashed him
well,
in the
am I
face.
necessarily
Because
I hit him
injured,
with
or
the
am I just
arrow. We're dragging him over to the shore, away from the light.
necessarily
mean?
injured, or am I just captured because I lost the conflict?
you've been captured. Yes, but part of losing the conflict, um, is being injured. You gain the injured condition for losing
Okay.
the conflict. I think
Yep.
that's fair to say.
And I
And
reached
you
down and tried to
guys,
get the arrow out and try to
Breck,
help
Violet,
him.
this was quite a heavy chase, but you guys still feel pretty good. I wouldn't say that you're exhausted, but you've definitely become hungry and thirsty in the chase. It's been thirsty work trying to get this darn
Absolutely.
slippery dwarf.
All
All
right,
right,
now
that
I'm
makes
getting
sense.
I'll
messed
drink
up
a
here.
wine. I'll drink a wine skin.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's a great way to start the adventure, becoming injured. Blech. You notice the
Welcome
injured
to-
symbol I have up here is actually a person on the ground with arrows in his back.
It is. That's exactly what happened to you.
Also,
God.
Narn, sadly, your sword was lost in the swamp.
Damn it!
You guys can try. You guys can go back and search for it if you want. This will tick up on
Yeah,
the.
I know where it went because I saw it flying.
This is a tick for the grind. Um,
He needs
Light.
a sword.
We got to go back and search that. We got to go
Yeah.
back.
Like
But first, we got
this.
to tend to him and get this arrow out, and
Yeah, we light up a torch. We go find the sword, and then we camp.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Take a
Yeah,
turn
we're
to
gonna-
find the sword.
We
Mhm.
camp.
Crazy
You guys-
man.
you guys suddenly have no idea where you are. The river is gone. You're not sure. You've gone so far deep into these woods.
Great.
Wow.
You're not sure where north, south, east, or west are right now.
Yeah,
How about
Narn,
the map, Mr. Cartographer? Darn, we need your help. Snap out of it.
I have the beginnings of a map, but now I don't know where we are. I mean, I know.
We can camp and do another climb tomorrow.
I could give him my dagger.
We're gonna find the sword. That's the whole.
No, we should kind of take some time here to find the sword. We're gonna need the
All
sword.
right.
Find the sword.
Okay, and so you guys snap out of it. Narn, you do not feel good. You've got some serious injuries. You've got a bloody nose from where you were hit in the face by a shield. You've got a sharp, stinging pain in your back where you were shot by an arrow.
Mhm.
You think you broke a rib.
Yeah, I have no recollection of what just happened, but I do see this, that I was shot by an elven arrow, so I'm a little mad right now.
We tell him, man. We
What?
tell him. We were like, you were under some kind of crazy spell, man. You were heading towards these witch lights. We had to stop you. You wouldn't stop.
Mm.
Don't hit friends in the face with shields for no reason. Come on.
Wow.
All right.
I don't know you very well, Breck.
You look in my eyes. Come on, Dork. You know.
Okay,
It
so
only makes
to
sense.
look-
We were trying to kill you.
Well, okay. Dude,
to
okay,
go and
check this
find
out.
the
Well, I'm a survivalist, right? I know
Right.
how to get around
sure.
in the woods, man. I can get. I know. I shot that freaking thing out of his hand. I know where it landed. I saw it fly and hit the ground. We need to. We can find our way back to it. I can
Or
scout
can
it.
we?
Yeah, it'll be hard to find, man. The size of the object is it's a small object, and the location is roughly known. You can kind of retrace your steps. There were a lot of twists and turns back there, but you think you might be able to find it. It will be difficult to find that tiny object, though, out here. So it's going to be an OB5 scout test.
Mm.
Op 5.
Let's scout here. Hold on.
Hunter and Pathfinder help scout. I have neither. Oh wait, I have
I have
scout
Pathfinder.
actually.
I I have Pathfinder, so we
I
can
would
both
have a
help.
5, so that's not even enough to do anything, and I've already used up all my Persona and Fate on this already today.
Remember, you can always succeed the test at the cost of a condition if I so choose, or it'll be a
Right. He can let us find the sword, but give us conditions.
if you
My-
fail. You might
and-
succeed.
In my
Miraculous.
scouting, I always search explored areas. That's my instinct, so we won't go up on the ticker.
If you want to use it as an instinct, you don't get help.
No, but that still doesn't fit though, because we're looking for something specific. We're not
Correct.
exploring.
That also doesn't help.
I say
So
go for it and just take the fail check if you fail, and just hope that he gives us a sword and just gives us some conditions or something.
So I get
I
5.
I feel naked without the sword. I do have a shield though.
Ticker goes up though. And roll
Correct.
5.
Yeah,
Alright.
Yep.
I think we should definitely try.
Hey!
To
Nice.
Wow. All right. Yeah, you guys search the swamp. You kind of retrace your steps. Narn, you're a little surprised how long and how far you actually were sprinting. It's quite a way back, but eventually you do manage to see a little bit of a glint there, Violet, out in the mud. You go over, and lo and behold, it is Narn's sword. You locate
Yay.
it, but
There you go, Narn.
it's long and it's a difficult task. Narn, you're gonna get hungry and thirsty, and both of you are going to take the exhausted condition. It's very exhaustive
shit.
work.
Shit. Okay, we gotta camp.
Injured and exhausted. And hungry.
No,
I mean,
Narn, you're gonna take hungry and thirsty.
Oh, I'm not
Because
exhausted.
Violet and Breck are already hungry and thirsty, they're going to take
No, we
exhausted,
drank.
or is it
We
angry?
drank. We took
Okay.
care of that.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Then you guys take hungry and thirsty again. I apologize.
And not exhausted?
Correct.
Okay.
Since we, yeah, so that's good.
All right.
I'm still angry. We need to sit down and get somewhere.
I'll eat a ration. So
Okay.
Breck and Violet are both exhausted, you said?
I'm
No.
sorry. They're not
Hungry.
exhausted. They're hungry.
Hungry and thirsty. Yeah.
And you guys are gonna take care of that right now? Some drink or
Yep.
food? Okay.
Yep. I'll eat a ration.
The grind ticks up.
I have a question. I had beer and skin. How many times do I get to drink out of that?
1.
All right, this is terrible. We don't have any
Oh, I
checks.
Wait a minute.
Oh
I gotta
God,
go
you
back.
don't have any checks.
Wait. Hold on a minute, you guys. I can't drink anything if I already drank my beer. Do we got any more?
Yeah. So you're
I gotta go
hungry
back.
and thirsty.
I gotta go back to the water to get the pond to drink.
Oh, the pond is still water. Are you sure you want to drink from that?
It's a survivalist test to find water.
Correct. You can try and
Or a
use
hunter
the
test to
survivalist
find
test
food.
Yep.
But that's gonna make the grind
We'll
go
go
even
with-
more.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get another condition next.
That's right.
Well,
We
you
have
do
no
need-
checks.
You do need checks.
Okay, look, can we just camp, dudes?
No,
It's
you
not
need
gonna-
checks.
we don't have any
No,
checks.
we need checks. So we need to.
How do we get a
fail
check?
some stuff.
Oh my god.
This adventure is gonna grind us right down into death right now, guys.
Okay,
We
listen.
may need to, we may
Listen
need
to
to
me.
pause and think about this for a second.
I think I'm gonna go by myself back to the pond to get some water.
Well, all right. Are you sure you want to go? Okay, that's fine.
Do you understand
Violet?
why I need a check, right?
Yes, Violet, you're going to make a survivalist test then to go find some potable, drinkable water.
Lord.
Well, remember to get a check, you have to use a trait against yourself.
Correct. You do have to use a trait against yourself. Do you want to try and do that? What kind of traits do you have?
Loner.
Mhm.
Oh, great. That works perfectly.
Yes. I may die in the process, but at least I'll get a check so we can camp. Right?
All right. So this is just a simple OB1 survivalist test to find potable water.
Well, I only have a 2 survivalist, so could somebody help me?
You're using loner as a trait. So
You don't want help. You
no.
want to fail this.
Want to fail it? Yeah, you want to fail it.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna roll
I guess I shouldn't say that. You don't necessarily want to fail it, but you're going to get -1 dice on your roll, right?
Correct. And you're using your loner trait, which I don't think I would allow you to again.
So I failed, right? Because it's -1. We're tied.
It was Oblon, so you actually managed to succeed. So you do get the check, though, right? She used it against herself, so she gets the check.
On a
Right.
fail.
Yep.
Or on a
And
pass. Yeah.
you
Wait a
pass,
minute.
yes. And you actually do manage to find a babbling brook, which seems to be flowing out from somewhere. It does indeed have potable, drinkable water.
Okay, so I drink the water, then I filled my skin back up with the water from there too, so I have extra water for later.
Right, so we can all
Sounds
fill
good.
our skins if we've used them. And Angie, you kind of fucked up. You should have gotten rid of hungry and thirsty before you did that, because now the grind has checked to turn 4, and we all
I already
get.
did. I did
Oh,
before.
okay. All right. Let me take it off your token. So now we all get hungry and thirsty from the grind.
Well,
Correct.
oh, we get it again, so we just drink again, and then it goes away. And then we
Yeah.
just fill up some more water. So we're at a freaking brook right when we got hungry and thirsty, so we can fix that right now.
Yes.
We're freaking slurping it down. We're so thirsty.
Okay. That works for me.
Yep.
But I am angry, and he's injured. And do you have any conditions? I don't think Breck has anything else.
Oh, I don't have any conditions.
Yeah.
Do something to get another check before we camp, but my traits are quick-witted and hard of battle. I guess I could try to do something smart and be stupid about it.
Yeah. I have loner, fearless,
Let's see here.
born of earth and stone.
You guys are out in the middle of nowhere. You do not know where you are compared to your initial climbing of that tree.
How about this? How about we try to find where we left off, like try to get back to the tree that we found, or the boat, maybe, and at least get back on track so we know where we are.
Yeah.
Can I use quick-witted against myself for that?
Sure, that's
Hey,
fine.
wait a
You
minute.
can use quick-witted for yourself.
Dude,
that.
I'll tell you what. I just remembered. I have a really good. One of my things is I remember things. My nature descriptor is remembering. I can find our way back. I should be able to. I can remember where we came from.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that's a good idea. And this babbling brook, Violet, you realize, hey, this might lead back to the river.
Okay.
And so, lo and behold, without even ticking on the grind, as that is a good idea, you guys manage to make it back to the river unscathed. However, you're not really certain where the boat was, but you think just by following the riverbank here, you should be able to find it, though you're not sure
Right.
if you should go.
Okay.
Okay.
What, yeah, you think you might be able to find it.
All right. Well, we're gonna do. Why don't we work our way back up to the boat, and when we find the boat, maybe kind of just like get up close, like because it was like a cleared area, right? We could just like sit near there and camp for a minute, or should we do that? Or no, we don't need to camp.
I don't know if it's worth camping with just one check. I think we should
One check?
press on.
Okay. Well, at least we'll gather our bearings and try to work our way towards that square in the woods that I saw. You know what I'm talking about? Like from above the mangroves, I saw like a square where there was no
I think
tree.
if we get back to the boat, then we'll have an idea where we need to head for that clearing.
Yeah, and we can
Right.
continue mapping that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the idea here is just to kind of press on with the adventure and just we'll come across some opportunity where we can get some more checks so we can camp. We need to find the fucking
Sounds good.
tower. That's what we need to
Yeah,
find.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah, you guys managed to locate the boat again. That's easy just by following the riverbank. And then not too far from that, Violet can spot the tree that she used. And so you're back basically where you started.
Yay!
Right.
So let's press on, towards the unexplored areas of the swamp.
remember, there was that large, strangely carved out part of the canopy, a large square, which Violet still can point in the direction towards.
Yeah, which we never found. Let's go out towards that direction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
In
avert
that
your
case,
eyes from any lights in the forest.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, don't ever look at the light. It's just like in the Lord of the Rings, remember they looked down and Gollum was like, "Don't follow the lights."
Yeah.
All right. And so in that case, I think I will require a Pathfinder check to try and find your way to this. Um, try and find your way to this strange square. You're not sure how far away or exactly where it is, but you do know roughly the direction. So we will say that this is going to be an ob 3 Pathfinder check.
I have a Pathfinder of 4.
Yeah, it's Breck's specialty.
Good. That's really good.
And
Then
scout.
survivalist helps or scout?
Pathfinder is scout or hunter. I have scout.
And I have scout. Nice. It's a 7, right? You could do it. We can find this place.
Well, I think it's 4 Pathfinder for the skill, and then +2 for help at 6.
Yeah. 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said 5.
It was
I
what?
believe I said it was ob 3.
Ooh. Okay.
That's great.
Yes. Sure you check
All right.
check pass on Pathfinder there, Lee.
Breck
Very
blazes a
nice.
trail. He slices through some vines. He pushes his way forward. Violet, you are able to remember where you saw the strange square, and eventually you manage to make it to this very large, overgrown, what seems to be a wall of vegetation. Um, it seems to be a very thick and sturdy sort of shrubbery that creates this very fine and strangely well groomed wall that seems to stretch out in either direction for miles. Well, maybe not miles, but it certainly does pass beyond your line of sight.
So it's like a gigantic hedge.
Yes, it appears to be a very large hedge.
Does it appear to be natural?
You're really not sure, and it seems to be it seems natural to the area, and that the plant life itself doesn't seem to be terribly out of place. However, it does seem to be well trimmed, or it seems that it's been taken care of. It doesn't seem
Manicured.
horribly overgrown. Yes, it's been sort of manicured.
So there's kind of no way beyond to travel beyond this. We have to just kind of follow it, I guess, huh?
You try to push your way into it, but there's this very hard, very sturdy, it almost feels like stone, but it has the texture of wood beyond. So you don't think you'd be able to press through without some effort.
Are we still needing light here?
In this particular location, it is dim. The canopy has given way to a canopy has given way around this hedge, around these hedges, so the sun does filter through a thick mist.
All right, Violet, we're going to want to light your lantern again. I think we went through 1 flask of oil already.
Okay.
It is dim here, so you do have dim light.
So mark off a flask of oil for the first time we use it. Now we're using a 2nd flask of oil.
Well, I'm not the oil carrier. I'm just the lantern carrier.
Oh, so now you tell us.
I told you I have a lantern. I never said I had oil for it.
Oh. Breck, do you have oil?
Do.
The wall does seem to disappear into a thick fog or a thick wall of mist beyond, so you're not really sure where the entrance into this would be, but you can definitely follow it.
Well, that's what we need to find, I think, is the entrance or some sort of way to pass through.
So we're just kind of like walking along the edge of a hedge, a huge hedge.
Yes.
And there's canopies on the other side of us, sort of like a little pathway we're walking down on the side of the hedge. Just trying to vision this.
Yes, that is correct. So it's a large hedge that appears to be covered in some sort of leafy foliage. And so you're walking along it. The canopy has given way up ahead, but there seems to be this thick overcast of fog.
Okay. Well, we're gonna follow the hedge and see if there's like an entrance into what's on the other side of the hedge.
Okay. You manage to follow the wall for a decent amount of time, and eventually you do come upon what seems to be a large archway. This brownish, it's like bark, but it's much harder than bark. You're not really sure what it is, Narn. You've never seen anything quite like it. Some sort of strange, almost like a building material, but natural, makes this archway
Mhm.
that leads directly into what appears to be a hedge maze. Inside of the
Hedge
maze on either
maze.
yes, inside
Like
of the
the
maze on either
shiny.
side of
Okay.
correct, exactly. On either side of the walls on the interior, you see these 12-foot statues of people with these long flowing robes. Their faces seem to have been worn away by time. Most of the specific details are they seem to be simply eroded, but they are the statues of humanoid figures, some holding out orbs, some holding staves, some simply in gestures of prayer. They seem to line this long um, corridor inwards, which then you can see splits off at the
Mm.
So it's the only way forward is going into this maze, basically.
or you can try and just go around the maze, yes.
If we look up, do we see any signs of any other structures that are higher than the maze, or like a, or you just see the sky, or what are we seeing besides this hedge and statue?
So the maze itself seems to stretch on. You're not really sure, as there is this very thick fog that seems to cover the entirety of this square of these hedges. It's a little surprising to you, Violet, because you didn't see this fog when you were looking at it at this sort of weird bored out area, but it would appear that from the entryway, this large arch made of this strange bark, you do see that there is what appears to be a rough, overgrown pathway that leads back into the swamp. So it does look like there was a path that led to this point. And so maybe there's a path that leads out of it, or you're not really sure.
So does that path go into the like the mangrove
Yes.
woods, into the
Yes, the
woods?
path leads back out into the woods.
So we could go right into the woods or left into the doorway into the maze. Is that the way I'm
Yes,
understanding
or
this?
you could continue following the wall.
What you guys want to do?
Well, we could go into the maze. I mean, we could map it, you know. I mean, being a dwarf, I mean, there are
You do have a
methods.
cartography skill.
Yeah, and being a cartographer especially, there are ways to navigate mazes. I'm sure we could get through to the other side. It may take some time.
Do you mind if I?
We all,
Well, I don't want to do that. I was gonna go alone ahead and try to get another check, but I don't want to get lost in a maze alone. That might be really freaky. But
I say we try the maze, I guess.
yeah, let's all go
It's
together.
kind of going in the direction that we need to go.
We need to stay together
Sure.
in this one.
if you're secure in your cartography skills, Narn, sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yes.
That sounds very confident.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And you guys have the skills to help cartographer too, scholar and pathfinder. You know, so you can help me map this. But I'm gonna need a
Yeah,
check
we do,
to
well,
actually
we
make
need
a
to
map.
keep track of where we're going if we're going in, so we can get back out too.
Exactly. No, I'll
Right?
take care of that. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
From a game standpoint, we just need to earn some checks at this point, somehow, some way.
Okay. Well, to ascend into the maze and try and figure out where you're going, do you know where you want to go out of this maze? Are you trying to find a specific exit or are you just trying to find a way through the maze itself?
Yeah, I assume this is it probably exits into some area. probably near the tower or where we want to be, right?
That would
Go
seem
through the
likely.
maze. Got to go through the maze to get to the wizard city. I don't know, right?
Yeah,
It would
maybe
seem like it. I mean, this maze has been put here purposely, obviously, so
Hey, I got
it's
an
worth
idea.
exploring. There might be some ruins in here or something.
Can we climb the hedge and stand up on top of it, or and look and see even further, or is it too much fog?
Certainly, you can try. It does look like this fog is pretty thick. You can only see about 15, maybe 20 feet ahead of you.
Ew.
Oh
Well, that's not
gosh.
going to work then.
Well,
All right, so let's navigate the foggy maze.
All right, navigating the foggy maze.
Yeah.
So you enter, and there are these 12-foot tall statues of these people. You're not sure who they are or what they do. They appear to basically be wizards, maybe. You're not really sure. Make an Ob 3 Pathfinder check. Whoever wants to lead this expedition.
that'd be Breck.
There's some evil magic in here. I can feel it.
So I have a Pathfinder of 4. Can they help me with that?
Yep, we can both help. We both have scout. Let's find our way to the treasure.
Nice.
Excellent. And so you ascend and you start to find your way back and forth. You're weaving in and out of these across through these strange corridors. Some of them actually have archways over them made of this same strange wood. It seems that the walls, every 5 feet or so, there's another statue standing there, 12 feet tall in a different position. It looks like a completely different person than the last, vaguely. You notice that there are these strange, that the mangroves here actually seem to bear fruit, some kind of strange peach. It looks like all of the fruits are rotting. They have these strange gored out insides that seem to droop, very sickly smelling. But the trees do seem to bear fruit, which is very unnatural and very odd. Um, you do manage to make your way
Do they
to
seem edible? Fruit?
possibly. They do
Can we eat
look
the
like
fruit?
they're rotten and pungent, but you possibly could. Yeah.
I don't want
Never
to try
mind.
that. That don't look
Not
too
if they're
good. Might
rotten.
get sick.
Okay.
It looks like they grow so that they grow so big that they eventually just burst, and so there's this and they rot very quickly.
Hmm.
No, thank you.
You do manage to find this crossroads where the statues stop. It looks like there's a path that just leads further on to the north, further on to the south, and then right into what appears to be this large open clearing. Now, in the clearing, there are these sort of Corinthian pillars, um, these sort of twisting pillars that hold up a large rooftop. It looks like all of this has been tiled out, and there are these pools filled with covered with a thick layer of green moss. Um,
Hmm.
you see that there's a massive pagoda in the very center, which houses a large freshwater fountain, which is set in ivory tiles.
Nice.
Ivory?
The
Real
correct
ivory?
ivory. The tiles do appear to be made of ivory.
And this structure appears to be in ruin, right? It's not, doesn't look like it's,
Yes, the pillars have been like broken down and weathered. The roof is missing tiles. The fountain itself seems to be crumbling in places.
Abandoned.
There was probably some sort of humanoid figure at the top which was dispensing water, but that looks like it has since crumbled into rubble. Um, the walls on each side seem to feature different seem to have these different features, so each of the four cardinal directions. On the one behind you, it appears that there are more of these statues that hold out orbs. All of them are the same. Then on further to the north, it appears that there are these tightly packed mangroves. The statues are not there, but it appears that these mangroves are bearing more of these fruits, and it looks like there are strange gargoyles made of this wooden structure that appear to be trying to climb out. They have these terrible distorted faces and terror. That's to the northern side. To the east, it looks like there are these. It looks like the actual foliage seems to give way to these like thorny bushes, and it's covering the sandstone walls. It's an entirely different type of structure to the east. It seems to be more sandy, a little more. These thorny bushes seem to go in
Okay.
and out of this hard sandstone, and then to the
Did-
south. Oh, I'm sorry.
But which way are we coming from? Because you're talking all directions. Are we coming
The
from
west.
the west?
So you're
Oh,
coming from the west, and that's where the statues are. And then
Yeah.
to the south, there are more of these terraces, like you were seeing before. These man-made terraces, which housed gardens, they seem to make these sheer cliffs. There are these statues of scholars there, but they're not like the statues to the west. They seem to be sitting in peaceable positions, and there are small lily ponds that seem. There's this lily pond that seems to line that particular wall.
And what were these gargoyles? You said they were. Uh,
That's to the
There's
north. There's these terrified rather looking gargoyles. They look impish and almost like little devils that seem to be trying to climb up the mangroves to the north. And there are, of course, archways that lead into each of these walls. And then in the center, there's this large fountain of the maze itself.
let's take a closer look at that fountain. Is the fountain operating? I mean, is it gushing out water?
Water seems to be trickling out from various orifices in this fountain. It does look like it has been completely ruined. There's rubble that lines around it, so it was probably a much more elaborate structure. But right now, it just looks like it's a multi-tiered. It looks like it's a multi-tiered sort of collection of cylinders that seem to just be pouring out water into a large pool, which again is tiled in ivory.
How about we just search the area like pretty thoroughly and see if we can find any, secret entrances or
I can do that. That's my
see if
instinct.
they're check out these fountains and these ponds and things and see if maybe there might be some ruins in these ponds or just kind of look around for um, anything that
Okay.
might not be
Secret tunnels. or
readily
secret
noticeable.
hallways. Yeah.
Sounds good. So then you would like to do a scout check then.
Yes, please. I got a 3 plus whatever you guys can help me with.
Hold on, let me get to this.
I have a 5, right? And we wouldn't tick up.
Well, I think we should use standard procedure here. Use your instinct. Without help, use loner against yourself for -1 dice to get a check. That's what I say.
All right, so I'm going off and just kind of exploring a little bit here. Loner.
Okay. I would say that this is going to be an ob. Yeah, I'm going to say this is going to be an ob 2 test to get a really good idea of this area.
Mm.
1.
All right.
So Angie, get a
So-
check. Okay,
Yeah.
for that. And check
And a
fail.
fail on my
Scout.
scout.
Right. So now we have 2 checks.
Violet, you there are multiple holes in the roof of this area, which is what's giving in just a little bit of light, but it is going to be it's going to be darker as you go closer and closer to that fountain. But because it's still sunny out and the fog light is filtering in through the fog, I'm going to say it's dim light. But you do take the lantern with you. So you said that are you using
I'm
loner
alone.
or
Yeah, I'm using loner, and I'm going to scope out the fountain.
Okay, so you gain a check for that for using the loner, and then you head out towards the fountain. Breck and Narn, you both see Violet disappear into the fog with the lantern, and you hear not too shortly thereafter a scream. Violet, you descend into the fog, and you're trying to get a good feel for what this fountain is all about. You get this sense that it was very finely tooled, perhaps even dwarven craftsmanship. And as you're looking, you into the pond itself, you see that there are these claw marks, as if something was climbing out. And as you're searching, you notice that that one particular tile has been removed, and there's this dark entryway, almost like a burrow into the pool itself, which the water seems to be constantly flowing into, but then it seems to be refilling enough to keep the same water level.
Okay, well,
But
I shout out to them. I say, "Oh my God, did you hear that scream? Come here and check this out."
no, hold on. So,
I think that was you screaming, Angie. Narn lights a torch and is like, Breck, let's go. After
okay,
you hear the scream.
Violet,
Wait a minute, that wasn't me screaming,
peering,
was it? What are you talking
hold
about?
hold on. Violet, as you're peering down into this strange hole, you
Yeah?
think there's something odd about that. You reach down into the hole, and this large hand, vaguely human, with these terrible long claws, it seems like flesh is exposed, comes flying out at you. It tries to grab you. It's this extremely large hand, almost 5 times the size of a normal human being, like a normal arm, comes flying out at you, and it grabs the side.
Grabs
And
what? It grabs what?
it grabs the side of the fountain and it seems to start pulling itself. And you see these tiles; they start flying and cracking.
What the heck? Okay,
And this
I'm
terrible,
fucking running.
this creature emerges. It has like 3 skulls, as if it had once 3 heads. It's like this terrible mound of flesh that comes crawling out of this thing. It's like 5 times the size of a normal man, multiple arms, pressing out and trying to grab its way on top of the fountain. Violet screams and runs back towards Narn and Brack.
Congratulations, Violet. You found the lair of the terrible, horrible man-eating monster.
Well, thanks for luring me to it. You were so interested in it because it had
Yeah,
ivory.
you got a check out of it though.
Yeah, well, I might be freaking insane now.
So yeah, we hurry towards Violet when we hear her scream. We're like, what? What's
Violet,
going on?
Violet, you meet up with the dwarf and the human. You can barely believe what you just saw.
Oh my God, there was this hole and this arm came out of it, and all of a sudden this monster creature thing started breaking through all the tiles. It's back there. It's coming for us.
Narn draws his sword.
I draw my sword and get my shield ready. Oh.
Torch in one hand, sword in the other.
And I flip back around with my bow.
And I fiercely walk off into the fog, beckoning these guys to follow me in the direction that Violet came from.
All right. You ascend into the fogginess, and you reach the fountain. It appears that this huge hole has been made. The fountain seems there's the tiles. These ivory tiles seem to have been cracked and smashed in one side, and more of these scratch marks can be found, but there's no sign of the creature, just this deep hole. It seems the water is draining quickly from the fountain.
And I'm like, that's where he came out, right?
Indeed.
This thing is huge, dudes. We need to be careful. I don't even know what we're doing here.
Narn inspects the pond or whatever this thing came from. You said there's a hole down there or something?
Yeah, so where Mom saw that loose tile before, or rather that missing tile, it's now just this large hole. It seems to be about the size of almost like something a bear could crawl out of. It's huge.
So it truly is a lair of some kind, probably. That's what Narn says.
Yes, it appears to be some kind of lair.
Aha. So we take a trophy.
You say we did. Okay.
Slay the beast. Come on, Breck. Let's slay it.
Well, it sounds like there's water flowing into this place right now, right?
Correct. It looks like the water is draining from the pool into this thing's lair.
I'm not great at swimming.
Let's taunt it. Maybe it'll come back out.
Yeah, I take a big chunk of the freaking tile and I throw it down in the hole.
Okay.
Hopefully it lands on his head, one of his heads.
All right. You throw this tile down into the hole, and it doesn't appear to. You hear it clatter and clatter and chink and chink and chink and chink, and then the sound actually vanishes. It disappears.
Right. So we have to go down there, guys. Let's go.
We can't go down that hole. You
Why?
freaking crazy? It's got like 4 arms. It could grab you by the leg and eat you. It's got 3 mouths. And 1 mouth for each of us.
As soon as she says 1 mouth for each of us, all of you hear this low come out from this hole. Just a low moan.
You guys are crazy, man. We're all gonna die. You didn't see what I saw.
So, okay, so is there anything beyond this fountain?
The fountain seems to be the only major structure with this pool in the center of the actual of this common area. There are exits, the archways into the northern, southern, eastern, and western portions of the maze. Yes, each wall again has these different features.
No, we'll just continue exploring them.
An option might be to check out one of these other areas before we confront the undead freak show under the fountain.
Well, yeah. I mean, there may be underlying structures down there. If we can find a way,
It's true.
another way down there, maybe.
Just afraid. I'm just the water aspect of it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, fighting and swimming is generally not a good idea.
Yeah. That's my concern. Maybe we'll come
No,
back.
and it occurs to you, you're not even really sure what the source for this fountain could be, if not this pool, because it does still seem to be pouring out this water from these eroded structures in the pool.
Well, I think we should move on. Like, where are we right now? Where are we? South? Or are we?
So you're located right there in the common area by the in the center of the hedge maze, sort of.
Oh, we haven't even gone in any direction yet. Maybe we need to explore.
You came in through from the west. That's where
Right,
all
but-
these statues were.
But we haven't gone north, south, or east yet.
Correct.
Which way you want to go, Brack? I don't want to hang here. This is bad mojo.
I mean, any option's fine if we want to do some exploring.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
Yep.
what direction. Let's just continue searching. Yeah, let's just continue searching with an emphasis on, trying to find any kind of underground passages or anywhere that might link to where this thing came out of down there. It could be just a hole, but there could be some underlying structures down there, possibly.
Okay. That'll be another Ob2 scout test then to explore the area.
All right, how about
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to give Mom a condition. Mom, you are afraid.
I already am. Oh no. Oh my God. I'm angry and afraid.
Okay.
That was for failing the scout test. I'm sorry. I forgot about that.
All right. Well, how about if we let Narn make the scout test this time? And again, with emphasis on kind of looking for underground entrances or structures or any sign of maybe where this thing could be living. It could be just a hole, but I'm just looking for anything.
Okay.
I have a Scout 2. What was the ob?
Ob2.
And I'll get 2 help.
You probably could use some checks near your scout, huh?
Yeah.
And you know what? I have no problem if we come across any like bodies of water. Narn has no problem like going into the water and actually swimming down and seeing if you can find any kind of entrances to any tunnels or caverns or anything like that that might have sunken down in here. Um, so he's using his fearless trait against himself
Okay.
for -1 dice to get a check. So I get 3 dice. 2 successes.
Excellent. So you kind of pick up where Violet left off. You start by just like sort of a perimeter search. It looks like the distinct features of the walls are going to be that the southern exit is specifically lined and marked. It's like the hedges are standing behind these deep lily pools, which have this thick vegetation in them. It's hard to see into the water itself. Um, but it doesn't look like it's large enough to necessarily like it doesn't look like the pools are large enough to necessarily like dive down into. You might be able to get into them, but they're not deep enough for you to like
Okay.
dive into them. They're about maybe chest height on you.
Mhm.
Um, the so then the eastern passages again, it's all sandstones and these briary bushes sort that that lead out into a sand covered portion of the maze. To the north, these gargoyles are very strange looking. You're not sure that you've ever seen anything like them, but there are many, many, many dozens of them, and they all seem to be doing the same thing, as if they're running from something,
Wonder if they're
climbing up
frozen
these
in time, like if
mangroves.
once they were alive, maybe they're frozen in time or
Yeah.
something.
They seem to be little.
Do they look like works of art, or do they look like
Yes,
something that's okay?
absolutely. They look like little statues of devils or demons or imps or something. Some
Uh-huh.
of them look more animal than devil. Some of them look more like little tiny people with tails. They're all very individual, all very distinct, but they all have these terrified looks on their faces
And
as they're climbing up
they're
the mangrove.
carved to appear to be coming up out of what again?
They're carved to appear to be coming out of the mangroves and climbing up them. So they appear to be trying to get into the northern side of the maze. Like they appear to be trying to climb up the mangroves as if they're running away from this central area.
Oh.
Then you head back into the fountain, not necessarily convinced um, that there's a deeper entrance. You head back to the fountain and you inspect this hole. You you go to the opposite side of the fountain from where the hole is, and you tap one of the ivory tiles, and you realize that it's loose. And so you pick it up, and you realize that there's actually a very deep there's sort of a deep trench that goes down all around this fountain. These tiles are just sort of keeping the water level, and they seem to be held up by something underneath them. It looks like the actual walls of the fountain themselves are these archways that keep each tile in place and are holding them. But when you take a tile out of the fountain bed or the bed of the actual pool, it does
Mhm.
look like it goes down deep.
Ah, so there is something down there,
Yes, it looks
but it's
like this
underwater.
entire Yes, it looks like this entire fountain is sitting on some sort of deep, deep um, cave or cavern, or
But
maybe
it's
it's
under
just a very deep pool.
but it's underwater.
Yes, it looks like there is this. It does look like this. There is just still water that goes all the way down. So it does. It does appear that this. That does appear that that the pool is very very deep. You cannot make out the bottom at all. That appears to be where this creature came from.
Okay.
So the tiles just seem to conceal the fact that there is a much deeper pool beneath the actual tiles
Hang on,
themselves.
I
Well,
need to let the cat out for a
well, it's
moment.
good to keep in mind because, as we all know, it is in the old ancient underground ruins where treasure lies
Yeah.
in most cases. Wonder if we could find a way to drain some of that water out somehow.
So, yeah, exactly. That's the question. Can we drain it?
I mean, it appears to be pretty deep, though. Maybe,
Guys, I should probably stop playing about 5 here.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, me too, because I need to take a shower and get some food and stuff. Yeah, we'll play for a little bit longer
Sounds
here.
good.
Maybe we
I
should just
mean,
come
so
back
what is
to
your
the
plan?
lair. Maybe we should just come back to the beast lair and just continue exploring a little bit. Maybe camp. We've got 3 checks
So I think that's a good idea.
because I don't want to be fighting no monsters while I'm injured.
Exactly. I think we've got the checks we need. We can
You know,
strike camp and
we saw what
a little
happened to
more.
Pingsley. I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
it's-
and Lee,
it's a wise decision.
did you see the song that Angie wrote about Pingsley? Did you see that?
Is that on Discord?
I think she put it on Discord.
She posted it under your name.
Huh?
She posted it as you.
Oh, she posted it as me. Yeah, it says, "Dear old Pingsley, sweet and wise, strong and handy for his size, he built a sled to carry our loot, turned over a brazier full of soot. On top of kobolds in our way, he cooked our meals and made our day. A coward, oh, he thought it was he, often he would want to flee. It was under the house of 3 squires, where spider webs were burned by fire, that the halfling chef, injured and tired, jumped on the back of a hobo spider. He was bitten deep and poisoned bad, a heroic death, but oh so sad. A coward, no, it was then we knew, Pingsley lived so well, and he died well too."
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, Nancy wrote a little limerick about Pingsley. It was great.
That's a bard-worthy song.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Bard-worthy. Yeah.
So
We see
yeah,
that.
let's camp. I think at this point we've got 3 checks. Let's
Well-
try to get rid of.
Can we move like back towards the entrance to do that? I don't want to do it here with the 3
Yeah. We want to try to
monster.
find.
I don't think you guys.
No, we want to try to find a safe camp away from this evil place.
Right.
Obviously evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Angie, I don't have all the conditions marked on the tokens here. Let me see. You're angry and afraid.
I'm angry and afraid right now.
That's bad. I'm injured. We've only got 3 checks, so we're going to get 1 shot at recovering from these conditions.
What do
land-
you have, Sean?
By the way, the lantern burned out. I think we've gone through 2 flasks of oil so far.
You guys do have one more round in the.
Right, which we're going to use for the survivalist test for a safe camp.
Yes. Okay.
All right. That's me, right? I've got a 2 survivalist.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
means, does anybody help me with that when I do this?
Find a safe place for us to camp. Survivalist is helped by hunter or laborer. I have laborer.
He has hunter. So that's going to give me 4.
Yeah, I mean, I can help, like, build a little shelter or something.
We should do whatever it takes to help here because
The old
it's on a
dwarven
chart.
lean-to.
Don't I add like my something to this? Like my health or something, or what do I do?
No, it's a straight-up survivalist test, I think, with help for a safe camp.
All right. But if you build a structure, would that give me another die?
Well, I'm just describing how I'm helping with laborer. But no, that's more actual survivalist test. We can set up a camp, and we can use checks to kind of reinforce the camp, kind of in a way. We can like have it find a water source near camp so we can refill our water when we go back to camp. We can have the camp on a map so we can go right from the dungeon wherever we are or wherever we are in the wilderness right back to camp immediately and stuff like that. So there are other things you
where
can.
we want to be, and we have water. Do we just
Well,
refill?
we just want to be away from this evil part of this place, I think.
Why don't we go out by the
Go back
hedges.
outside of the hedge maze, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of
Right.
between the mangrove and the hedge. Where the well, I guess if I
So do you want to try to find your way back out of the hedge maze, or do you want to, because you don't have a map, so you would have to then try and find your way back out, or do you just want to go a ways into the
Well, he kept track of that,
hedge
remember?
maze?
Right, but I haven't actually made the map yet because
He does not have
that
a
takes a
physical map.
cartographer test in camp to do that. But
You could just try and rest in the western maze itself, like out of the center here and more on the western side.
yeah, because
Okay.
there's three types of camp basically. There's a typical camp, unsafe camp, and dangerous camp. If we were to camp here by the lair of the monster, I would say that's probably a dangerous camp.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can kind of move out of there, away from that area, and at least make it an unsafe camp, possibly with that survivalist test, it's an
Yeah.
to make camp. It's an ob 1 for a typical camp, ob 2 for unsafe, ob 3 for dangerous. And what
Okay.
that does, it gives +1 on the roll for the camp test, Alex. It prevents disaster from
Right.
happening, essentially.
Right.
All right, so 4 dice.
So would you say, well, it's a GM's call kind of here. Would you say that if we move out of the area of the layer where this thing came out of, is that unsafe or is it typical or is it dangerous even to camp here?
Well, are you going? I'm not going to tell you whether it's unsafe or dangerous until you decide where to make your camp.
Outside the hedgerow, man.
Well, let's go inside the hedge row where we came in. Like, at least go partially back down.
Yeah, like
now.
near the entrance, I guess, of the hedge maze.
Okay. Okay, that's
or
fine.
even right out, or even right outside the entrance. Right?
Or I
Yeah.
say in the hedges, like
A good
walls.
distance away from the three-mouthed monster.
Right.
Okay, I will say that is an unsafe camp.
Okay, so it's an ob 2 survivalist test, Angie.
That's horrible.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
That's really bad.
I'm
sorry.
going to invoke a twist here.
Oh, Jesus.
My torch burns out.
All right. Violet, you lead Breck and Narn back into the hedge maze. And you're attempting to find your way back out towards the entrance to find the best place to camp. And suddenly you guys get lost in the actual maze itself. You lose track of time and you're really not sure where you are in the maze. It seems to still be part of the western side as these statues do line the walls, but you're not really certain exactly where you are. And then you hear this crunching sound right above you. You look up and you look around and you're trying to figure out where the sound is coming from. And you get this strange feeling of being watched. You hear a low growl somewhere towards the center of the maze. And then emerging right out from right on top of the maze, this three-headed monster, like three hands come clutching onto the wall. It raises itself up and lurches down at you. This three skulls of these strange, almost human faces gnash at you, and this low growl, this sound comes from it.
Oh,
It
gee.
smells horrible, and this green ooze starts to drip from it. And it tries to reach out for you. We're going to do a conflict.
Oh my.
Oh God, so much for camp. The way
We
you
might
describe
wanna,
that thing, Alex, it reminds me of like a three-headed Grendel from Beowulf or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a terrible, terrible looking creature.
Like a three-headed troll or something.
Do you guys want to pause here,
Yeah.
or do you want to?
No, we should definitely pause here. Alex, we don't have time for a conflict, I don't
Okay.
think.
That's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, it sounds the way you describe it, it's like a
crazy town.
it's like a Grendel type troll creature or something.
Yeah.
So I guess we're not going to have any choice
strange.
but to We could always run
I
away.
envision it as an undead three-headed troll, you know?
Right. Let's do end of session stuff, Alex.
Okay, sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Where is that? I'm sorry, where is that?
I'll be back 1 sec.
There it is. All right. Very well done, guys. You guys have begun the descent into Loman's Folly.
Great. I'm sorry. Our camp totally failed right when we need it the most.
Sometimes, you know, the dice are on your side. Sometimes they're not. It's okay. It's all part of the game.
All right, so we award fate. If you acted on your belief, you earn 1 fate. Did anybody act on their belief?
I think I did. My belief is protecting those who would protect me, or those who cannot protect themselves. Is how I roll, and basically, I tried to protect Narn with my celestial music spell. It failed, but then I shot him to protect him from the lights, and then I succeeded there. So twice I tried to protect him from being taken. Doesn't that count?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird way of looking at protecting.
Well, I mean, I was. I had to freaking shoot him to protect him.
Okay. Sure.
Mine's hesitation kills. Only the brave and decisive will be victorious. So hesitate to try to incapacitate Narn.
Yeah, and for the fate, it should be actually acting on the belief, taking some kind of action or something like that. So I think for both of you guys, yes. For mine, there's not, for me, but blood and treasure spent and earned. I think I kind of maybe role-played that a little bit, but I didn't really act on it. But I will in the future, I'm sure.
So you get a fate for that?
Yeah, you get a fate for acting on your belief.
If you work toward... I'm sorry, go ahead. If you work towards your goal but did not accomplish it, you gain 1 fate. What is everybody's goal again?
My goal is to find the wizard's tower. I was definitely acting on it.
You acted on it, but you did not accomplish it. You gain a fate.
Yeah, you work towards
Same thing here, to acquire treasure on our trip to Winterkeep. So I think I'm working towards that, but I didn't accomplish it.
Yeah, mine is show Breck and Violet my worth as an adventurer, and I think I maybe did the opposite of that, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
That was kind of a pretty big inconvenience for Breck and Violet to go chasing me through the swamp, but that was a great opening chapter for the adventure.
Playing your instinct to the benefit of your party earns you 1 fate.
Yep, I believe Angie did that.
Indeed, she did.
What is that? Oh, playing my instinct.
Playing your instinct? Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I did. What do I get for the fate for that, too?
Indeed, you do.
Okay.
If you play against your belief in a dramatic fashion, earn 1 persona. Did anybody act against their belief?
I didn't.
Oh,
yeah,
I did.
That would
if
be
that
would be Narn caring about something other than blood or treasure.
Nobody accomplished their goal. And then the table awards 1 persona to the chosen MVP, the player who really came through for everyone or had a moment of glory during the session.
I don't know. There weren't really many moments of glory in this session. It's only just a huge adventurer clusterfuck.
The only glorious thing I did was shoot Karn.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's glorious though.
It was like,
unfortunate.
I don't know how many tie rolls, and it was always the same number of dice too.
Yeah, that was pretty tense.
5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Tie.
That really could have gone either way. We could have lost Narn to the fucking witch lights or whatever they were.
Yeah, Absolutely, that was a tough battle. Actually,
I owe you guys on that. But MVP, I don't know.
be Violet for shooting you in the shoulder with the arrow.
Yeah,
Maybe.
there was kind of a turning point when Violet, shot Darn with the arrow, put an end to it.
It was that great 0 to 4 roll. Yeah.
Yeah,
And she also disarmed you with her arrow. I think
yeah,
that's-
that was pretty sweet too. Yeah, I say we give a
I think
persona
that
to
counts.
Violet for
Thank you,
MVP.
because I have 0 persona. Thank you. Okay.
And then the table awards 1 persona to the chosen team worker, the player whose support kept everyone going despite the cost or risks.
I don't know. Breck was making some pathfinding rolls, helping to guide us.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You know,
Yeah, he got us back to the boat so we could get back on track.
yeah, we were completely lost a couple of times, and he got us back on track. Maybe
Yeah.
we should give
That
Breck
is
the
true.
team worker award for persona.
Okay. And then, if the table wants to award 1 persona for embodiment to characters who were role-played with drama and entertainment value, they may do so. This award isn't always given out, though.
I think we should give it to Narn because he was so getting to the witch lights.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that was very convincing.
I really, really tried hard, didn't I?
You did.
Too hard.
You even took over and played yourself, yeah.
Too hard. Yeah, I think he deserved for that.
I
Yep.
agree.
All right, cool.
All right, well, we're in a bit of a pickle next time we come back into this, a big one. I'm
Yeah.
angry, afraid, and about to be killed.
We seriously might want to consider running away from this thing. Honestly, yeah. So
Oh man.
we have a week.
I think we go for it.
Yeah,
I
we
say
have
we
some.
go for a kill conflict.
Yeah,
Go for a
says
kill conflict.
says Breck. Yeah, Breck's always up for the kill.
Absolutely.
The thing is, if it's a kill conflict, I'm gonna die.
Okay, well, no, we don't want that.
No.
Maybe
we
if
could-
you're injured, yeah.
I mean, maybe we could just drive it off or hold our ground or just fight it, while we're trying to get out of there away from it. I don't know. We can think about it.
All right.
That's just my initial thought is that we should probably run away at this point. With the conditions we have, it's
Mhm.
bad. Because I get -1 dice on everything.
All right, people.
It-
Well, that was a great game, guys.
Yeah, that was fun.
All
It
right.
was fun, yeah. Well,
Good.
have a happy birthday, Lee. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy birthday.
I will. I'll be drinking some beer here in a second.
Sounds good.
Excellent. And Lee, I'll get in touch with you about Roll20 and stuff and what we're doing in Cthulhu.
Well, yeah, and definitely the first step. Well, I'm still kind of working on the outlines of the adventure, but you guys can definitely roll up characters.
All right, cool. 1960s, huh?
You need
That
to-
sounds interesting.
1960s pulp characters each.
Cool.
They need to be like criminal background, mercenary background, military background. We can tweak that a little bit.
hmm Well, maybe we can do a little session 0 at some point or something, and just
Okay, that sounds great.
just roll up characters, and it wouldn't take but just a short time with just me and you on Roll20 to. What I can do is I can give her the control of the Cthulhu Classics 2 game, and just make you GM of that, and I can just kind of show you in there and show you kind of like how to make handouts or just some basic shit. There's really not much to it. You don't have to be all fancy schmancy with the art and everything, but I can just give you some pointers as far as
I definitely want to incorporate some art and some background stuff, though. But
Yeah.
that sounds great, man.
yeah, I can
That
show you how to
sounds
do
great.
that. It's not that hard, but yeah, we'll plan
Can't
on
wait.
getting together and doing that.
Yeah,
But
so
going
yeah,
forward,
All right.
that'll be kind of cool.
yeah, but with Call of Cthulhu, I think from here on out, as soon as we nail down a day, I'm going to do some of these little short scenarios for the next few sessions, just for a change of pace.
Well, we can do that while I'm getting ready for to queue up my adventure for you guys.
Awesome. That sounds like a plan.
Should we play Torchbearer next Saturday, or was that kind of up in the air?
We can
Let's
plan
just
for that.
let's just
we'll keep
pencil
up
it
the
in.
air.
Yeah. Let's try to play Torchbearers on Saturdays when we can, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
All right.
I talk to
Thanks,
you
guys.
later.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Happy birthday,
All
man.
right.
See you later.
Yeah,
It's a
happy
great game.
birthday.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
See you.
See ya.
John, Angie, we'll play next week.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
You too.